Greetings, family. It's me. It's Cassandra Faye Floyd. I know I'm late. But when is the last time you saw me do a live in the morning? Plus, the cat had to get picked up early to get his little private parts resolved. So I'm late. My bad. This is Cassandra Faye Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates, founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. And we're going to get started. I am going to get started with the recitation of the global conspiracy to right all wrongs and the glorious conspiracy of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. I'm going to start because we always use a noisemaker. I have a new noisemaker. This is number 5. I haven't finished it. I'm going to spray paint it. I debated back and forth about whether or not I'm going to spray paint it. But I'm going to spray paint it today. But this is my newest noisemaker because I told you guys that I have my first sound therapy performance that I'm doing next Saturday at this wellness event. And I'm going to do the entire sound therapy session with homemade instruments. So today I'm going to do it with my newest one. I made it out of a tree pod, old Damaged Beyond Repair CDs, my white water bottle tops that I've been saving, and seed beads. Here it is. If you can see it. So that's one CD. I was so sad about this CD because it's irreplaceable. And then another CD. And you can see I melted hot glue on both sides. So when I finally spray painted, it's going to be all textured. Then in between, sandwiched in between the two CDs are 2 bottle tops hot glued together, and inside the bottle tops are seed beads. And then the handle is a tree pod. This is a tree pod. It's one of these pods that these pods fall off the trees. They got huge seeds in them on their own. People be taking them apart to get the seeds out. But it's a huge, huge, long tree pod that I just left whole and used as the handle for my rattler. I got this idea. I can't remember her name. I got this idea from a Instagram content creator from like Austria or some shit, and they run a children's program, and she did something similar to this where she used cardboard as the tops, and they were like milk jug tops, bigger tops, and they used all different types of stuff inside the tops to make the sound. So I was like, ooh, I got all these old CDs that are damaged beyond repair, so I'll just use those. So this is my noisemaker. This is the one that we're going to use today. The one that I made before this, I still have, my goal is to have 7 noisemakers for the event next Saturday. So this is the one that I made before it. So this is a racquetball racket on the inside, a racquetball on the inside. And these are necklaces that I had gotten years ago, 4 necklaces that I just bound together. So that's one. And then I have several others. But anyway, this is the one I'm most hyped about today because I'm almost done with it. But this is the one I'm going to do our, can y'all hear it? This is the one I'm going to use for the recitation of the conspiracies today. We are the breakers of curses, the casters of glorious conspiracies, and the creators of the new world. I, Cassandra Faye Floyd, am a divine instrument of my mother's divine will. As such, I am protected and guided by the sacred blood and water of my mother, Jacqueline Jeanette Cook's body, that anointed my life, that anointed my entry into this life. I am divine because she is divine. Mommy and I are one. I call all of our mothers to this moment. I call on they who govern everything, all time and every space in between. She with 10,000 names. Today it is Oya, Yemaya, Oshun, Iyami Ajay, the divine architects of existence, usheresses of the new age. Mommy and I are one. I call upon all our divine ancestors and the Ashe of every mother on earth to break every curse ever cast upon the mother and her children in all timelines and in every dimension. Mommy and I are one. We, the mother's divine children, conspire together today to forever bind those who have or would harm you, great mother. Mommy and I are one. We conspire together today to destroy everything and everyone in every timeline and dimension that is called suffering and despair. Mommy and I are one. Today, we embody the sacred and divine power of our mothers. Today, we the tree, we the weavers, rewrite all time. Today, we the tree, we the weavers, rewrite the book of life. Today, we, our mother's children, call the winds of change. We conjure the primordial dark. We summon the sacred serpent deep from within the earth. We subdue the rogue sun. We control the light. We heal the harmed. We embolden the fearful. We instill courageous action. Today, we are staging a global evolution as is our mother's divine will. Mommy and I are one. We, the architects of the new age, now create the new institutions, the new traditions, the new culture, the new ways of being. We ecstatically welcome the radical destruction of all institutions of hate and harm erected by the godheads of war. Mommy and I are one. We have the power. We have the voice. We are the portals of change. Now we employ our sacred breath and we give life and sacred blood to this conspiracy. Mommy and I are one. We command, come the wind, come the storm, come the lightning, capture and judge all godheads of war and all betrayers of the mother's divine will. Bring their confusion and war to an immediate end. Scatter them to oblivion, never to be resurrected. We are the fates. We are the furies. We are the Iyami Ajay. We are the disseminators of divine time, divine retribution, divine rectification, and evolutionary justice. Mommy and I are one. We are the restorers of heaven on earth under the mother's divine reign. We wake the sacred serpent from her sleep to assist us in this sacred assignment. Mommy and I are one. Love unlimited is our birthright. Harmony is our birthright. Ecstasy is our birthright. Pleasure is our birthright. Freedom is our birthright. This is her divine will. We are the divine executors of her will. We speak her will into the now to reverberate throughout all time, all space, and all dimensions. It is certainly as we say, forever and ever, Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. I guess I should have took it out. And then the glorious conspiracy of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. I, Cassandra Faye Floyd, as a peculiar expression of the almighty divine she, the great cosmic mother, now join in breath with my global family to conspire on behalf of the whole made well. We are breathing these words together to ensure that our home, her body, is restored to her original perfect glory. Her glory is perfect in peace, love, bliss, happiness, and ecstasy. This world exists because we collectively will it so. We, as the representatives of the Mother's divine reign on earth, speak this beautiful conspiracy as a single cosmic earthly orchestra to guarantee heaven on earth in joyful compliance with our Mother's divine will. Possessing the power of our mothers, we speak this glorious future now. It is certainly as we say, Mommy and I are forever and ever. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. All right, Mars Infinite. I see you. I see you. Okay, so I don't know if you were here when I was talking about my newest sound project, but it's 2 CDs and some water bottle caps sandwiched between them. and inside each of the coupled bottle caps are seed beads. And then this is a tree pod, hot glued. Yay! So I'm excited about that one. I'm getting started on another one today, the one I've been threatening, because it's going to be the most complicated. Oh, thanks. It's going to be the most complicated. It's the one that I was telling you guys about, that I'm going to be using the thimbles for. Give me a second. Let me turn the fan on. It just got hot in here. So the noisemaker that I'm working on next, I've already started on it. It's going to be a little bit more complicated, but I have this earring that I found. This little metal earring, right? See, this little earring that I found. And so I started weaving different colors on the earring to drape from the earring. So this will be the part that I hold. Probably going to have something else on top of it, but this is going to be the thing that anchors all the string. And then this is all the string that I have cut to weave from it. So it's going to be, you know, all rainbow colored string that'll all string from this earring in the colors of the ascending chakras, right? So they'll go all the way up to the color like blue, purple, bluish purple at the crown portion of the chakra, right? Because I was thinking like this looks like a spine, so I'll just have all of those strung up. And then after I get all of them strung, I'm going to probably clip this down about this much. And from each string that I have counted out, because I told y'all I was going to do the thimble one. So these are the thimbles. They're not like the high quality, more sturdy thimbles. I got these on this website in bulk. So they're like sturdy aluminum, but they make a great sound. This is the can, right? So what I was thinking when I started making this, when I decided I wanted to make some kind of noisemaker out of thimbles, I was thinking about mala. Let me show you mala for those who don't know what mala is. So this is mala. This is mala. I'm sure you've seen it, just didn't know what it was called. So this is mala. This is what came before the Catholics stole it basically, and created the rosary. This is mala. All right. So these are prayer beads that, Buddhists and Hindus use when they're chanting mantra. So traditionally, mala is made only by the monks, only made by Buddhist monks, right? They make each bead. It's really dope, actually. There are videos of it on Greetings, Galactic Seed. So there are videos where you can watch of this whole beautiful process of the monks making each bead. And then there's prayer. There's mantra that goes into each bead that they're making. Is really dope. But anyway, so this is mala. And the whole purpose of mala is that you want to do the chant or the mantra for the amount of the sacred number. What's the sacred number? It is our mother's number, right? Any number that reduces to the number 9, but particularly the number 108. 108. So on each mala, there is 108 beads. 108 beads, prayer beads, and then you have the one bead that connects them all. So there's technically 109, but the prayer beads themselves. And so what you would do is like, so I'll say what my mantra is. I was given a mantra in a ceremony by Amma. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the woman. Her name is Amma. She's got several temples here in California. Her name is Amma, 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 and they call her the hugging prophet. Anyway, so when I went to go see Amma, this was like 2018, 2019, when I went to go see Amma, she gave me a personal mantra. And so my mantra is Om Reem Kleem Namaha. Om Reem Kleem Namaha. And so that's what, so whatever your mantra is, or whatever mantra you decide that you're doing, you would hold the bead, Om Reem Kleem Namiha, Om Reem Kleem Namaha, Om Reem Kleem Namaha, Om Reem, and you count, you use the bead so you don't lose your count. You count the bead, say the mantra, you count, you hold the bead, you say the mantra, you count the bead, you hold the bead, you say the mantra until you get all the way around your mala, and then you close out the prayer, right? This is mala. So I was thinking about the sacred number 108 when I was thinking about this noisemaker I'm about to make for the ceremony that I'm doing next Saturday. So those of you who live in the California area, I should go ahead and say that I'm doing my first public sound therapy session at Zula Den's Fall Soiree on next Saturday, October 25th. And my spot or my session is from 12 p.m. to 12:45 p.m. I have a 45-minute set. It's a whole big event. There's usually about 200 people there. There are scores, literally about 30 different types of healers there offering services. There's poets there doing like what do you call it? Like poetry slams. I mean, it's like dope. It's a 2-story event. This massive warehouse. They have these giant wooden bathtubs, and they do like ice bath sessions, and they do Olympia, and they offer all kinds, like all kinds of healing sessions. I've taught there every quarter when they do it for each season. And I've taught there for every quarter since they started doing it, like 2 years ago. 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. But this time I wanted to do something different. I typically teach workshops at this event. And so I decided I wanted to do my debut sound therapy session. And so I decided that instead of the stereotypical, because everybody does it, no shade to anybody that does it, do your thing. But listen, when I say that you can go to a sound bath and the setup is the same for everybody. They got some sound bowls, and maybe some little extra instruments and a microphone, and they speak in angelic language and doing their thing. It ain't my thing. I've been to several sound baths, and it's cool for what it is, but like it's like you create a thing and people run it into the damn ground, and so it's just boring to me. You feel me? I don't feel it. You feel me? I've only experienced maybe 3 sound baths that I've been here that have really blown my mind. Have really blown my mind. Like, whoa, blown my mind. Only 3 since I've been here. And so I decided that to break away from the monotony of the norm, I was going to make all of my instruments for the sound bath session that is coming up next Saturday. Oh, for the address, by the way, it's at this place called Zula Den in Los Angeles. The address is 4011 West Jefferson Boulevard in Los Angeles, California. Again, the entire event starts at 12. My spot starts at 12:45 upstairs in the den. So it's like, I don't know, 10 rooms, probably more than that, probably 20 rooms that they have set up for the different healing sessions, for the lectures and workshops, for the musical performances. And And then for the more like weighty therapies, like the ice bath sessions, they open up the warehouse downstairs in the back. It's really dope. Free food. Then they have actual food vendors, so like vegan and vegetarian food trucks on the outside. It's a really, really, really dope event. The entire event is free. There are some healers that do charge, but to enter the event is free. You do have to RSVP though, so go to Zula ZULA den.org, because you have to RSVP or they will not let you in, because like I said, there usually be about 200 people packed up in there for the event. The event is from noon to 6 p.m. next Saturday. Okay, so anyway, so that is what's going to happen. I'm going to finish stringing this, what is now currently an earring, right? But I'm repurposing it. And so I will finish stringing the chakra colors in thread all the way up the spine of this earring. And then once I get done, I'm going to tie knots at different levels, I think, or maybe the same level, who knows, where I then at the bottom of each one, I'm going to attach a thimble, right? That I've already nailed holes in the heads of each of the thimbles. So I will string the thimbles on, tie knots in them, and then that will be the next noise maker. But the reason I got on the whole thing about the mala is because I decided to be very strategic about what I was going to do with the thimbles. So I counted out 108 of the thimbles, and it's going to be my take on the mala. So I'm going to have 108 thimbles strung from this earring. I still have to figure out what I'm going to do with the top of it, because I have a stand that I found, actually, because y'all know I will pick shit up off the side of the road, and I found this thing is like perfect for the stand to display all of my instruments, because I'm going to have a stand where I display the instruments until I use them, but I'm going to have a fan set up to where you're still getting a very faint version of the sound in the background. The fan is going to blow the instruments. So like, especially the hanging ones, like this one. So instead of me using it when it's hanging on the stand, it'll be like faint while the wind is blowing, right? So this one, another one that I'll have suspended from the stand will be this one. I still have to work on the top though, but this one. So these are other pods that came off a tree, and then I just dehydrated them and drilled holes in them and wove them together. And then this one is like very lovely. This one I will actually use to kind of like, I just got to figure this out. But this one I'll use to like, it'll probably just stay suspended because it's so sensitive. I thought about like dragging it on the floor, but it's so sensitive. It too is dehydrated, but you have to be really careful with it. Even though I've put glue on it to try to keep the leaves from like falling off, it's still very sensitive. And then I sprayed it with some gold. Anyway, so that'll probably just stay on the stand with the fan, just like, you know. And then y'all saw the other two big ones. The one that I made out of the Chinese teacup, the brass Chinese teacups. That's suspended somewhere, so I'm not going to bring that down. The one I made out of the Chinese teacups, and then the one that I made out of the buzzball drinks, the big clear plastic buzzball drinks. I love that one. That's still my favorite one, just because it's so cute. And then this one's the one I'm most hype about. And then I still will have two more to make. No, one more to make once I finish with the thimbles. So anyway, hoping everybody is well. Thank you, Chronicles of Sa-Roc. I see everybody in the room. Samana, how you doing? Mars Infinite, Ken's Color Box. Thank you for the donation the last live. I didn't shout you out. Chloe Dior, Yolanda, how you doing? Everybody. I know I'm late. Don't be talking ugly about me. You feel me? So I got a funny story to tell you. So I went to this birthday party last weekend, and and there was a dude there. He is an elder, and he was telling me about how he goes every day to this place where they feed senior citizens lunch every day. And he was like, yeah, it's really nice. It's like, they make this really beautiful lunch, and all these seniors have a place where they can come and just hang out together. I was like, oh, that's really, really nice. He was like, you should come and check it out sometime. I said, excuse me? He's like, yeah, you should come and check it out sometimes. I said, excuse me? He was like, didn't you just say you turned 50 2 weeks ago? I was like, yeah, I'm 50. He was like, bitch, in LA, you is a senior. You are a senior citizen in LA if you are 50 years old or older. Child. I said, where they do that at? Where the hell they do that at? Since when am I a senior citizen? He said, since 2 weeks ago. Yo, in LA, your ass is technically a senior citizen, being able to apply for senior services and discounts across the city. Show is. Show is. I said, stop lying. He said, I ain't trying to hurt your feelings or nothing. I'm just telling you, you can go and get a really beautiful lunch every day at 12 at the Senior Citizens Center. So I went yesterday. For my first senior citizen. Oh my God. It don't even sound right saying that shit out loud. I went yesterday for my first senior citizens lunch at the Senior Citizen Center in Los Angeles. Yo, that shit is real life. And it was really, really nice, actually. Like, we had baked chicken, we had grilled Brussels sprouts. I see y'all clowning me in the comment section. We had grilled Brussels sprouts, this beautiful rainbow colored mixed vegetables with carrots and sweet potatoes and corn, and we had a big bowl of fresh cut fruit. And I was like, well, all right then, Senior Citizen Center. And don't be fronting. I came up on here late. I'm gonna have to leave early because I'm going to get my senior citizens lunch at 12:15 over here at the Senior Citizens, the Senior Citizen Center. Yo, I giggled all the way home. I said, boy, is this real life right now? I thought I had another 15 years before somebody started calling me a goddamn senior citizen, child. I don't even see my mama as a senior citizen, and she gonna be 70 next year. Like, my mama ain't old. She was like, baby, I am old. It's okay. I was like, Mom, you ain't old. Yeah, so that was my day. That was my day yesterday. I was like, Lord, well, I guess we up in here. Well, as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to change the title for this because I don't want to shorten the read since I haven't read in a couple of days. I think I'm just going to talk to y'all about some shit that's been on my spirit for right now, and then schedule another live for a different time of the day. What's today? Friday. I don't have any appointments. So get your readings. I don't have any appointments, and it's Friday. Plus, not only is it Friday, but the full moon, the new moon, is in 2 days. 3 days. So y'all playing games, book your reading. What I think I might do, because I'm going to do a temple service. I was planning on doing a simple service tomorrow. But I think I might do, how y'all feel about me doing a temple service tomorrow morning? And instead of it, and doing a 2-hour temple service, and 1 hour be the temple topic, and then another hour being like, y'all know how I'll be doing those like $11 a question live card pulls. Would y'all like for me to do like a live card pull tomorrow as a part of the temple service? Yay or nay? I need to know. So tomorrow is temple service regardless, but I feel like I wanted to talk to you guys about some things that have been happening over the last few days. Okay, that's what's up, Galactic Seed. I see you. Okay, so that's what we'll do. I got a yay. So that's what we'll do tomorrow. Is I'll do a temple topic, and then we'll transition into. I responded, Royal. I responded to your email. I saw it. So if you need check your email, because I responded to it. I think yesterday is when I saw it, about the issue that you were having. Zelle right now is preferable. The temple Zelle is preferable. Okay, check again. Okay, I haven't checked my email today. I'll check it again. Okay, so anyway, because right now Zelle is preferable. Okay, if you're gonna book a reading, if you're gonna pay for the tomorrow when we do the live readings, Zelle is preferable. The temple Zelle is preferable. Okay, so anyway, there are a few things I want to talk about. Because it's been an ongoing thing. I talked to y'all. Did I do a live yesterday? I didn't do a live yesterday. Whenever that last live was, and I was talking to y'all about my weekend of events with activists and how revealing it was. Well, I have some follow up on that. So I got an email, and I had a conversation yesterday, a long conversation with a homegirl who is a Obatala priest. She's a priest of Obatala in the Ifa tradition. We've known each other for several, probably since 2016 now. And she was calling about something, but it brought up a lot of shit. It brought up a lot of shit because after I got up off the call, I'm doing this speed version because I'm going to go and get this lunch because I'm not going to cook. You feel me? So I'm going to go eat. But anyway, so it brought up a lot. This conversation and then the subsequent action after this conversation brought up a lot for me that I've been really struggling with since July, really. And it's been the thing that I've been struggling with is my own internal frustration. There's a lot I haven't shared with you guys that has happened over the last several months, but I'm going to give y'all the Cliff's Notes version so y'all can understand the perspective that I'm coming from. Okay. So the sister called me yesterday. She's got some issues that she wanted to talk to me about. And my typical handicap is when people call me, especially if they're people that I know well, they are close family members, friends, whatever. I just start dumping. I just start giving them what they need and asking nothing in return. And yesterday I pumped the brakes on that. I was like, sis, I love you. And I really, really respect the urgency of the situation that you are in, where you need my advice, where you're calling me for my advice. But I've got the same sense of urgency, and I am going to have to ask you to pay me for my time. She was like, absolutely. But if I wouldn't have asked, she wouldn't have volunteered. And that's not a judgment. It's just what it is. I have a bad habit of giving away shit for free. Not only do I have a bad habit of giving away shit for free that I have paid for, but I have a bad habit of giving shit away for free and my needs are not met. You feel me? So going back and seeing how much time I spent like on the phone or doing this and that, because I really love human beings and I know that I have information that can be impactful in their life. But going back and saying, well, fuck, how am I giving everybody what they need? And I don't have what I need, right? So I was like, I'm going to send you the 411. Let's book a consultation, whatever. But she knows well this struggle because she is an RN. She's not just a priest of Obatala. She is an RN. You feel me? And her situation, talking to me about her situation, then my homegirl the day before her talking to me about almost verbatim the exact same situation. And then 3 days before that, another woman talking to me. I said, okay. First of all, everybody is calling me about these direly urgent situations, people that are close to me, people that I cherish, people that are dear friends of mine, right? And I am up in this bitch overwhelmed, but that ain't nothing new. I tell y'all that all the time. I've been telling y'all that shit for 5 years. I need this money I need what is mine to come right now. That's all. If these motherfuckers say they have had the expectation that I am to generate I'm worth $8.1 million, I'm gonna need them to unhand my shit. If that's all I can get is my 8.1 million, I'm gonna need them to unhand my shit because the task is big. And so the checking account, the banking account, the savings account, the material wealth has to match the gargantuan nature of the expectation of the task that is to be fulfilled. That's my personal position. You don't have to agree with it. It's my personal position about what it is I'm called to do and what I need to make that shit happen. Okay. Now, this conversation led to her telling me about another thing that she wanted to bring my attention to. It's this documentary that just came out, I think last month, called Rebel Royals. Rebel Royals. And I had made a mental note to watch it, but I knew I was going to have to get mentally prepared to watch it, because I have talked about the subject of this documentary many, many times here. You feel me? So yesterday I was like, you know what? I ain't going to let the day go by without watching this damn documentary. It was only like an hour and a half. I was like, all right, I'm going to watch this documentary. The documentary called Rebel Royals is about Shaman Durek and his Princess of Norway wife. What's her name? Monica something. Monica something with an M. Monica something. Madeline. I don't know. Monica, I think it is. But Shaman Durek, who is technically based out of LA. That's where he currently lives, is LA. And this white woman from Norway, Monica, whatever her last name is, she is the princess of the Norwegian monarchy. Okay. And how they fell in love because they was both into spirituality and spiritual healing and to the stars and to the wealthy white elite of California, of Los Angeles, right? I've always had a lot to say about Shaman Durek because this motherfucker came to LA literally 2 years before I did, came to LA with nothing and is a mega millionaire right now. And when you see him, you know, doing his thing in interviews, I think he's been on like Oprah, and his claim to fame was like Gwyneth Paltrow was his ace boon coon, you feel me? And every time I saw this dude, like I subscribe to his newsletter, and every time I saw this dude, I try, because I know, even though I'm awesome, doesn't mean I don't have knee-jerk afflictions based on, you know, my placement in the heavens. And what I mean by that is I am a Virgo sun with a Capricorn moon, and Virgos, probably more than anybody else, have a tendency to lean into hyper criticism, just default knee-jerk critique, right? And I, over my years as an activist and an organizer and subsequently a healer, have always tried to be extremely mindful when I feel myself lean into that tendency, lean into that kind of knee-jerk reaction of hyper critique. And y'all know that because I talk to y'all about when y'all do it. You feel me? That when we as activists, or we become conscious, or we become revolutionaries, the first thing that we do is start to look down our nose at those who ain't got it yet, those who ain't there yet, those who ain't arrived yet. Like the story I told y'all a few days ago with the homegirl talking about, well, I just assume it's a bad habit. I just assume that when people aren't political, that they're ignorant. You feel me? A lot of y'all do that. Y'all become vegans. Y'all become look downers. Y'all become whatever your new thing is. Y'all become down lookers, like your ass wasn't a reactionary just 2 days before. You feel me? And so knowing that and seeing how quick in general we all are to judge, we all are to critique, really trying, don't mean I'm perfect at it, but really being a lot more vigilant about being aware when I am leaning that way and to try to reel myself back. So with Shaman Durek, and I'm watching all of these videos of his and these interviews of his and listening to his podcast, that was a exercise in discipline, child. It was an exercise in discipline to not be hypercritical. You feel me? To not be extremely critical. It is an exercise in discipline. It's still an exercise. You can see my face. It's still an exercise in discipline. But I will be honest. It takes a lot to surprise me. It takes a lot to like genuinely surprise me. It takes a lot to surprise me. So like I said, I was all up in here doing my mental exercises to get prepared to watch this, what I knew was going to be a bullshit pile of bullshit ass documentary. I was up in here. I was like, I know there's something in it for me, so let me just go ahead and grit my teeth and bear through it. I was actually surprised by this documentary. I was actually, and then I had to be like, but bitch, why was you surprised? You know what I'm saying? I was surprised by this documentary. I was surprised in a good way, but also in an uncomfortable way by this documentary. And I'm getting to a point because it was like the puzzle piece that just perfectly united every single situation that I have experienced sharply in the last 2 weeks, but overall for since May, since I stopped putting my hands on Zionists as my primary source of income, my primary occupation. Let me just tell y'all, this documentary was not only pleasantly surprising, it was vigilantly affirming. Because I've been up in here dismayed. Like, is this the only option that I have right now? Is the only option that I have is to go back on this app and start rubbing Zionist asses to make a living, to keep my bills paid, to make a decent living? Is this the only option that I have? Like, I reject it. I reject that this is the only option that I have. So now I need the floodgates to open the fuck up, because I'm not doing it. So do I need to be houseless? Do I need to be homeless? Like, that's the only option I got. Because I'm gonna tell you something else that happened that I haven't shared with you. It's a source of serious dismay. You feel me? And I'm telling you, watching this documentary, who knew it was what I needed yesterday? Who knew it was what this documentary about this, I don't want to call names, this unusual character named Shaman Durek, who is black as the day is long, as bald as a newborn baby, a devotee of African spiritual traditions, who is openly gay, who met and married a wealthy white heiress to the Norwegian throne. You can't write this shit, okay? And they marriage, right? Who knew I needed that goddamn documentary yesterday? And the thing that I needed it for was the thing that I'm sure nobody paid attention to, because y'all don't do that. Y'all don't pay attention to that. Let me tell you what happened in this documentary yesterday. That was the perfect glue between each puzzle piece that has been my life since May. Has been my life since May. It affirmed so much that I was up in here in self-struggle about. Like, self-struggle. Like, bitch, you need to live. The way that you are existing is not living. And so you can't even keep your mind as sharp as it has been, because it is straight here. Is at basic substandard existence. That's where you is, right here, right? And what you know and the skills that you have do not match the way that you live. So you are currently not in a position to execute the mission that you are certain is yours. This is where I've been, especially since I made the conscious decision that even if it meant me a motherfucking homeless, I am not putting my hands on fucking Zionists in this city to fucking make a living. Even if it means I got to be out on the motherfucking street, so be it. God damn it. If I need to live in my car again, I'm not doing it. That's the position that is unwavering, and I have suffered through the summer struggling with this decision. Not struggling with the importance of the decision, with the impact of the decision. You feel me? Then something else happened. I was like, well, because right now, technically, I'm just a licensed massage therapist. I came out here with the intention of taking the state boards to get licensed as a doctor of Oriental medicine and acupuncture physician. And I never took the boards because I paid $1,000 to take the board review. and caught COVID at 6 weeks into the review. The review was 16 weeks. The class was 15 weeks, 16 weeks. At the height of it, I caught COVID. And the COVID that I got, the COVID strand that I got, it wasn't respiratory at all. No chest. My daughter, my grandkids all got the very respiratory impact of COVID. I didn't get that at all. Mine was marked by extraordinary dizziness, like literally having to place my hands on counters and walls and things to walk from my bedroom to the kitchen, to walk from my bedroom. I have a bathroom in my bedroom, to walk from my bed to my bathroom, literally having to touch everything to stabilize myself. I was crazy dizzy, insanely dizzy for like 2 weeks and extremely exhausted. Like everything felt effortful. Every step, everything felt effortful. I couldn't pick up my grandkids. That's the only thing that I felt. Well, once I was officially clear of COVID and they gave me the time off to recover this class that I was taking. And so when I was supposed to go back into the class, I couldn't remember anything. I couldn't. That has been my primary reward, my primary honor, my primary badge. Everybody has always known me for, like, bitch, you have the memory of an elephant. Like, you remember everything, every detail, every color, how the shit smelled when it happened 30 years ago. Like, the memory of an elephant. So coming out of COVID and couldn't recall, and y'all watch it. Y'all have watched that shit over the last 3 years since I caught COVID. Me fighting like hell to retrieve extraordinarily minute details that I should not be struggling over. Y'all have seen it happen, because I go back and watch my videos prior to COVID, and the free flow of information that I'm able to just retrieve. That shit has been choppy since COVID, right? And so I couldn't take the rest of the class, the fucking $1,000 class that I paid for, the review class. And so the woman said that when I was ready, that I could retake the class and she wouldn't charge me for it. So over the summer, I was like, okay, I guess this is the only option that I have, because I'd made up my mind. I didn't want to put my hands on nobody ever again, whether as an acupuncturist or otherwise. I want to teach. And there are too many people that get paid well to teach. And I'll be honest, don't know a quarter of what I know. I want to teach. I want my brain to make me the money that I deserve to make. I don't want to put my hands on anybody anymore. I'm 50 fucking years old. I don't want to do it. I want to teach other people how to put their hands on human beings so the skill is not lost in me. I don't want it to just be with me. The way I practice is peculiar to me. I take everything that I've learned from everybody that I've studied under, and then I have created my own style of practice. And that shouldn't go to the grave with me. So I'm like, cool. What I'll do is I'll create apprenticeships. You feel me? I'll create these little programs where I can reproduce my skills in others, and then they can take what they learn from me and sharpen their skills in a way that is peculiar to them. Boom. That's all I want to do is teach. That's all I want to do is transfer skills. And I want that shit to make me the money I deserve to make. So let me tell you what had happened. I'm telling you, this has been my life for the last 4 or 5 months, and I have not shared this with y'all because I've been up in this bitch subdued, right? So I was like, fuck it. I'm not going to work as a massage therapist anymore, because the only people that were calling on my skills were goddamn Zionists. I'm not doing it. I told y'all the story about how this motherfucking monster hired me to put my hands on an IDF soldier recently injured in Israel. I cried the whole time. The whole time. When I say recently injured, I mean this man from his low back all the way down to his foot, all the way back down the back of his legs, had fresh shrapnel removed from his leg. His other foot had to be surgically reattached. I do not give a fuck. I did not spend $280-something thousand in 10 years of my life in medical school to put my hands on human beings who do not see other human beings as human beings. That ain't what I signed up for. That ain't what I signed up for. That's not what I committed my life to. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not giving the gift of my primordial chi, my goddamn source chi, to a murderer. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I don't give a fuck who is opposed to what I'm saying. I do not care. 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 Even if they're nice to me. Even if they're nice human beings to their kids. The fuck? Child, this shit out here is lunacy. So I was upset. I tell you that goddamn shit with the fucking and this bitch that hired us deliberately hired 4 black women. Why she do that? I'm gonna tell you why. Because this goddamn documentary with Shaman Durek is what alerted me to it. She went out of her way to hire 4 black women to treat these 4 fucking white IDF military monsters. Why she do that? Why she do that? Do you understand? And I was clear why she did it. I was clear why she did it. It's called parasitism, is what it's called. It's called parasitism. I ain't trying to be up in here getting hype, but it's called parasitism. And I was aware because I was sick the whole time I had my hands on this man. Crying, doing a massage, like mother, this is not what I signed up for. I do not allow this shit to happen to me again. This is fucking bullshit. I should not be so desperate to fucking pay my bills that this is what I got to fucking do. This is what I have to do. I reject it. And so I stopped working for that shit. They email me every motherfucking day because I had stellar rates. I was making about $8,000 a month, working 3 days a week, doing massage. Now I'm up in here struggling. And I was like, okay, am I being prideful? Am I being arrogant? Fuck no, I'm not being prideful and arrogant. The fuck? I shouldn't even have to ask myself that goddamn question. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I can't do massage no more. That was easy and it didn't require a lot of brain energy for me. And I only had to work 3 days a week to make what I needed to keep my bills paid. You feel me? So I'm like, okay, if I'm not going to do massage anymore, it means I got to bite the bullet, go ahead and take these people's board and get my license to practice acupuncture. And I can always go into somebody's clinic and just do acupuncture and take my ass home. I can go be an employee, do acupuncture and go home. I can do acupuncture to the stars or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because of my certifications. I still have a gang of certifications for like facial rejuvenation and non-surgical facelift and all of that shit. I don't know if y'all really realize that this bitch that's sitting in front of y'all is a fucking genius. I don't know if y'all really realize that. I got more than 32 additional certifications in addition to my fucking 4 medical degrees. 4 medical degrees. I don't know if y'all really 15 years in a cadre style revolutionary organization. If they handed out PhDs for revolution, bitch, the bitch sitting in front of you will have one. I don't really know if y'all know that the bitch sitting in front of y'all is a goddamn genius. I don't know if y'all know that or not. So anyway, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna have to take this goddamn board and become an acupuncturist, even though I do not want to give anybody else the essence that's actually in my body in the form of putting my hands on another human being. I don't want to. I done did that shit for 20 plus years. I don't want to do it anymore. Especially as I'm telling people who call me for readings, women who call me for readings, I don't give a fuck what you say. I be telling these women, some of them probably don't call me back because I be telling them. If you are a woman in general, a colored woman in particular, and a black colored woman even more in particular, and you talking about, and I tell you, what do you do for a living? And you tell me you got some goddamn job of service. And I say, okay, well, what did you want to be when you grew up? Before everybody started telling your black ass that the only thing you good at is serving other motherfucking human beings. What did you want to be when you grew up? Well, I love what I do because I love helping people. I'm sorry. You can help people in other way. It's a fucking sleight of hands. It's a sleight of hands. This is from somebody who still loves what I do. I say I don't want to put my hands on people no more, but as soon as I get into a situation where I'm treating people, I'm like, this my shit though. This my shit though. I'm really good at this shit. This my shit though. To hear a person talk about how their pain level was a 9 or 8 at the beginning of the session, they're like, oh my God, like I barely feel the pain. I'd say it's about 2. I'm like, I'm good at this. I like doing this. I like doing this. But then I remember that because of the way you all have been acclimated to the expectation of women of color in general and Black women in particular being of service to you. And that shit is not energetically reciprocal. It's not. That's why I've gotten all of these calls in the last 2-3 weeks of all of these women at the fucking brink, exhausted beyond compare, taking care of everybody around them, raising kids, raising husbands, taking care of disabled parents. I cannot tell you how many people I'm counseling right now who have parents, Black ass parents with cancer. And they 60, cancer, and they 65, cancer, and they 70. And I'm like sitting up in here, not just cancer. I cannot tell you the innumerable amount of people that I'm counseling right now with Black ass or melanated ass parents who are in full dementia. That has never happened. Go and just Google on PubMed studies in the 1990s about dementia and about Alzheimer's. The least likely of all the people in the country to develop Alzheimer's or dementia have been Black women. All of a sudden, everybody Black and female, developing dementia. I'm sitting here and you're watching me in real time, not be able to recall information that I should very well be able to recall. So there are a couple of things that contribute to that, 2 or 3 things that contribute to that, in my estimation, big. One, it is that we have been completely exhausted by everybody's reliance on our energy, on our essence, on our spirit, on our chi, and it's never reciprocated. And what I mean by reciprocated is equal exchange for energy output. All the expectation of us and also the expectation of never having to do anything in return. That shit is exhausting the fuck out of human beings. It is. You are literally watching people, women, lose their fucking minds. I'm talking about their memory. Lose their minds. Because there's no point in their life where there is an expectation that there has to be an energetic equal returning of energy into those that you rely on to be your healers and your supporters and your nurturers and your caretakers. And every last one of us get romanticized into occupations of service. I just really want to help people. I just really want to be a healer. I cannot count the innumerable number of self-proclaimed, self-trained healers in this motherfucking city right here. And 99.9% of them are women. And 99.9% of them are women of color. And these 99.9% women of color are all fucking sick. I mean sick. I don't mean sick like me. I am having my little old women moments and shit. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about sick with shit growing in their bodies. And they know all the things to do. And self-care is a fucking setup, bitch. Self-care is a trap. Self-care is a setup. You fucking self-care Sunday. That's that fucking bullshit. You do self-care Sunday because you know no one else is going to invest into you the way you have invested into everyone else. So you gotta devise self-care Sunday. Because if I don't take care of myself, if I don't spoil myself, if I don't do all the things that I should have family and friends surrounding me to do for me the same way they expect that I do for them, it won't get done. I'm telling you, it's a setup. I'm telling you, it's a trap. This whole thing where you go to Florida and 89% of the people working as certified nursing assistants in the state of Florida are Black females. My stepdaughter is an LPN. She began as a certified nursing assistant. My goddaughter is a licensed midwife. which is awesome, right? My daughter is a licensed massage therapist. Do you understand what I'm saying? All these girls watching me, I feel responsible that all the girls in my life that I know I had a direct influence on have all gone into occupations of service. I know it's complicated. I know somebody is triggered right now, but this is me really telling you, why is it that every time we as little girls grow up, we end up being somebody teacher, we end up being somebody nurse, we end up being somebody CNA, cleaning up after old white racists, cleaning up they shit and fucking piss. No different than if it was 200 years ago and we were still on a goddamn plantation somewhere, getting paid the bare absolute minimum now instead of being forced to do that same fucking work for free. You get romanced into fucking occupations of service. And who are you servicing when you go into these occupations of service? You ain't servicing us. Sometimes you are. Let me not get that deep, because even we expect that black women are supposed to be doing shit for free, just off the philanthropy of it, just off the love of people. We just want to do shit for free. The fuck? So I'm telling you, I've been up in here having a whole bunch of motherfucking one existential crisis after the other. One existential crisis after the other, having to try to solve for myself, by myself, because for myself, by myself. While meanwhile, I'm getting call after call after call after call after call after call from friends, from loved ones, from family. Oh, I know you got all this shit in your head. What you think about this and that and this and that? Can you tell me how to heal this and that and this and that? Can you teach me how to teach? And not one say, bitch, is your bills paid this month? How can I contribute in exchange for this valuable information that you have in your head that your ass paid $280,000 for? Plus, I even got to the motherfucking punchline. So I say, fine, fuck it. I'm going to have to bite the bullet. I can't be up in here homeless and shit. Let me go ahead and take this motherfucking medical board so I can get my license to be a goddamn doctor of Oriental medicine and acupuncture physician. People tell me you should do it anyway so that people really respect you, Cassandra, because unless people are able to call you Dr. Cassandra, they're really not going to respect your information. That leads me to another discussion I'll tell y'all about in a minute. I'm telling you, this is all happening within the last 3 weeks since I turned fucking 50. You feel me? Thank you so much, Spiritually Flexi. I think there was a couple of other y'all that gave me donations. Thank you so much for your donation, Mars Infinite. Thank you so much for your donation, Netaru Segment 9 Ether. Come on in the room with that powerful ass name. Shanta J, thank you for your donation, darling. Let's see. I think that's everybody. Yes. So anyway, so I go to start the process again of getting approved to sit for the medical board here in California. Guess what the fuck I find out all de facto? I'm just doing the introductory phases of getting recertified to sit for the board. And what do you know what recertification to sit for the board means? I paid $1,000 for that goddamn board review. That's not all though. For them to look at your records, for them to look at your application and say, yes, you now are able to take the medical board in the state of California. That alone, for them to say, yes, you can take the board, is $250. To take the board is another $500. For them to say, yes, you qualify to take the board is $250. And then to actually take the board is $500. And then the $900 goddamn board review class that I paid for and still have not had the benefit of. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and get this process on the road so I can practice medicine the way that I want to and not feel victimized by working through this app, having to put my hand on Zionist 4-5 fucking times a day. Okay? So let me tell you what had happened. I started the preliminary process. And this is how I found out. Not a phone call. And I keep my records updated. Not a phone call. Not a piece of mail. Not an email, which has never changed. The way I find out is they tell me, oh, we're going to have to check back with you because the school that you got your 2 degrees in, your bachelor's of science in professional health sciences and your master's degree of traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture with your focuses, the school has been closed due to loss of accreditation. I could have been kicked by a horse in my fucking chest and it would have been less painful. I just found this out within the last 3 weeks, y'all. That the school that I went to full time, year round for 4 years, my graduate program. I could cry sitting here telling you this shit. That the school that I went to for 4 years with no summers off to acquire 2 fucking degrees has lost its accreditation and subsequently has been closed. So I reach out to a couple of my classmates trying to figure out like what the fuck. Because I'm not the only one in my situation where we waited all this time to try to get our license to practice medicine. And apparently our school is involved in a class action lawsuit I was not aware of. Our school is involved in a class action lawsuit because there are scores and scores and scores and scores and scores of human beings who paid the private tuition cost for this fucking school. All this within the last 3 weeks, y'all. When I tell you, I've been up in here fucking subdued, like a boulder ran straight through my shit. You feel me? So, and then D'Angelo died this week. That hurt my feelings more than anything else. I'm not going to lie. There's so many implications that we don't talk about in the loss of D'Angelo. This man was 51 years old. A genius. A genius. How did he die? How did he die at 51 years old? The industry killed him. They can say that the cause of death was pancreatic cancer, but the industry killed him. This fucking environment killed him. This society killed him because they hate the expression of genius in black-skinned human beings. This society killed him. The fact that there are 2 generations of human beings who do not even know who D'Angelo is, that is what killed him. His genius suppressed. His genius fucking punished by this rotten, monstrous fucking bitch. That's what I'm experiencing in here. I'm going to just tell you what it is. So, this sister calls me. I watched this documentary. How does this relate to Shaman Durek and me having to walk back my criticism of this man, even as Looney Tunes as he is, because he is Looney Tunes. That is not a statement of opinion about his beingness. It is an observable fact. Okay, he loony. But let me tell you what stood out about this documentary and why I'm going the fuck off. This man has made millions. He has made himself a millionaire. He got here 2 years before I did, broke and poor like me. And this motherfucker has become a millionaire. But he is paying with his fucking life. He's paying with his life. So because people have been like, damn, Cassandra, you know a lot more than this motherfucker. Like, maybe you need to be taking notes and do what he do instead of criticizing him. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm motherfucking right. Maybe I do need to be going up in here in Beverly Hills and selling myself as this great healer that I am. I ain't got to sell shit. I am what I am. Go up in here and get these coins, get these ducats. This motherfucker was charging $3,500 an hour for his healing sessions. And he wasn't even putting his hands on no motherfucking body. He up there. He wasn't even touching nobody. You feel me? And so he is in this documentary doing what he do, and they paying him $3,500 an hour. But let me tell you what I saw past what y'all didn't see. The very beginning of the documentary, he's sitting in his home in Beverly Hills, in his mansion, his giant ass home in Beverly Hills. And he's sitting on his couch, leading a session for a room full of white women. There's 30 bitches in his living room, sitting on his floor, sitting on both sides of him on the couch. People scattered the fuck everywhere. People crying, and he healing. Just scattering his motherfucking chi all over the goddamn room. Breathe in. Shh. Breathe out. Shh. Now let me sing you an ancient song. And he just scattering his chi all over the place. Just giving it up. Just giving it up. In this room full of 30 fucking wealthy white bitches. You hear me? They in there having a whole experience. He's so powerful. Mars Infinite, I see you, girl, but I'm being deadly fucking serious right now. This shit had me in my motherfucking feelings yesterday watching this goddamn documentary. All these white women crying around him. He's so powerful. They laying on the floor. Okay, now I'm gonna tell the spirit, come out of this evil spirit, come out. And people being these people being transformed. You feel me? All the crying. You know what I'm saying? Surrounded by affluence, surrounded by wealth unimaginable. These white people made this motherfucker a millionaire in a couple of years. And I'm not hating. Do what you do. But even when I first started talking to y'all about Shaman Durek a couple of years ago, and I'm like, I don't want it this way. I don't want it this way. Yes, I have the need. Yes, I have the vision of what it is we are to build. But I want us to do it. I know that we are capable of doing it, and y'all confirmed it by giving that black adjacent weirdo $88 million in 48 hours. Don't tell me that we cannot build this shit for ourselves based on our level of integrity, our level of respect for each other. Black women respecting black women in allied partnerships with women of color to do this shit our fucking selves. We generate wealth for every fucking body on earth. We can do this shit for ourselves without having to be in a room full of vampires leeching off our goddamn primordial chi. And I'm sorry, $3,500 an hour is not an energetic equal exchange. Fuck what you heard. Fuck what you heard. Let me tell you why $3,500 an hour is not an equal energetic exchange. Because all of them bitches sitting in his motherfucking living room probably all paid $3,500 a piece. And guess what? They got more from him than he got from them. You know why? Because his motherfucking ass is dying. His motherfucking ass is desperate. Black and married to a princess and still concerned that they may not find him a kidney within the 5 to 10 years that they've given him to live if he doesn't make the list. So fuck what you heard. Y'all owe us more than fucking $3,500 an hour. God damn it. You owe me everything you stole from my mama. You owe me everything you stole from me. You owe me everything you stole from my grandmama and my grandpapa. You stole on both sides, as a matter of fact. You owe me more than if you paid me $6,500 an hour, eight motherfucking hours a day for the next 30 years. I'm not putting my hands on y'all no more. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And if I'm not doing it, it means we together, not me by myself in this fucking apartment. We together have to come to a conclusion about how to rescue ourselves without having to rely on proximity to people who don't give a fuck about our lives. What's the evidence of that? All these motherfuckers crying in his ass. He's so powerful. He's so amazing. And when his white wife was driving his ass to dialysis and he's so demoralized and he's sitting in this motherfucking chair for 4 hours receiving dialysis, I didn't see a single last one of them white bitches sitting up in there saying, can we feed you? Is there something that we can do for you? Or when the white woman was really distressed, because Monica, I think her name is, I don't want to keep calling her the white woman, the princess, I think her name was Monica. When she and Dirk were in the kitchen talking, because he said, one of the things I love to do most is cook, but I don't have the energy to cook, so she had to learn to cook. Here her ass is a goddamn heiress to the fucking Norwegian throne. She ain't never had to prepare a meal in her motherfucking life. So she's like, damn, I know that I don't cook like him. I know it doesn't taste the way that it does. He said, that's okay. He said, we can eat it. It will nourish us. We okay. And so they are having this back and forth about, I can't wait till I have the energy to cook again. And she was like, I know you love cooking. And I know the kids love your cooking more than they love mine. But in the meantime, what we started doing is getting these boxes of food shipped to us that tell me verbatim, and everything is already measured out, how to prepare the meal. So it does taste okay. And he was like, it does taste okay. And I appreciate, where the 30 motherfuckers that was in their living room saying, y'all don't worry about nothing. We got y'all. Y'all have done so much for us. He's so powerful. He's so powerful. But it ain't occurred to now one of them motherfuckers to band together with the energy infused in them by him to say, we going to exchange this energy that he has fortified us with. And now we going to give him some of that energy in return to make sure that he and his family ain't got to worry about a motherfucking thing in this transitional period in his life, where our healer now is the one that needs to be goddamn healed. Fuck that, man. Fuck that. Goddamn it. What the fuck is wrong with people? Y'all don't give a fuck. And I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about in general. People don't give a fuck when the wounded healer needs healing. But you know what? Call me when you get right so I can vamp off you again. He said in the documentary, I was like, this was affirmative in a million ways. He said it. He said, he was in an interview and the interviewer asked him, child, I wanted to pull a Java. I wanted to throw the whole fucking TV and stop watching the goddamn documentary. The interviewer asked him, if you're such a healer, if you are such a good healer, why can't you heal yourself? I'm so glad he didn't call that motherfucker name. I'm so glad he did not call the name of the interviewer who asked him that bullshit and ass bullshit. Because if he had, I'd be telling all y'all right now to put that motherfucker name in the pot while we chant his ass down under the conspiracy. He had the nerve to ask this man that while he is desperate on a waiting list for a life-preserving organ. If you such a healer, why can't you heal yourself? And his retort should have been, bitch, why should I have to heal myself with as many people as I have benefited from my fucking chi? I am the evidence of the inequality of the distribution of resources. Yes, life force is your resource. Your essence, your chi, your yang, your yin, this is your life force. This is what is meant to keep you alive and thriving. And then you disseminate it to others sparingly so that you can share from your abundance to assist in fortifying their deficiency. I have talked to y'all about this as a bad habit. That's why I'm convinced there's so many healers of color out here who are fucking sick, because indigenous people, Mexican and Native American people out here have accepted a very diabolical fucking idea about ceremony. Do you hear? Let me tell you about ceremony out here. You will get shamed and clowned by natives and indigenous people, like Mexica people, Azteca people, if you quote charge for ceremony. Ceremony is supposed to be free. The fuck? That's some patriarchal shit, by the way. Even if you don't know the source and it's been happening so long that you just now call it tradition, that's some patriarchal, exploitative, parasitic fucking shit that has been turned into a cultural tradition. I can guarantee you that the origin of that narrative is probably from the motherfucking pioneers. It's probably some shit weeded into your cultural tradition that came from them pioneers so that they could get from you what they needed while giving you nothing in exchange. As a matter of fact, stealing everything from you, robbing your ass blind while getting the healing rituals from you at the same time. Motherfucking pioneers sitting in the sweat lodge with you because you less harmful than the real pioneers. I'm telling you, because these motherfuckers will say, it's not correct. It's against our cultural tradition to charge for ceremony. As if ancestral people the globe over was treating people for free. Do you think ancestral people was treating motherfuckers for free? Do you think that the witch doctors and the healers and the visioners and the shamans was working for free, bitch? Just because they wasn't exchanging currency, because that's the only thing you fucking understand is the exchange of currency, don't mean these motherfuckers was working for free. They were not working for free. As a matter of fact, if they were shamans, if they was medicine people, they didn't work for free. As a matter of fact, the exact opposite. They didn't have to go out there and do the toiling. They didn't expect the shaman to go do the hunting. They didn't expect the shaman to go out there and plant the seeds and shit. Why? Because this is our medicine person. They do for us so much that in exchange, they don't have to worry about where they're going to live. They don't have to worry about where their food going to come from. They don't have to cook their own food because the sisters going to come together and make sure that the person that is the caretaker, the custodian of the ancestral traditions, the ancestral information, the ability in their hands to transform somebody's fucking life, they gonna be taken care of. We need these motherfuckers to live a long ass time so that we always are healed as a people. So we got y'all. That ain't working for free, bitch. But that's y'all expectation. That's y'all expectation now, because y'all have grown accustomed to watching black people in general and black skinned women in particular work for free for 400 fucking years in this bitch, and that shit has literally mutated every cultural norm in this motherfucker. Y'all grown accustomed to seeing women work for free, and even miserable in the face, it don't occur to you that maybe I need to do something for my wife. Maybe I need to do something energetically equal for my children. Oh, y'all ain't hearing? Because you turn your children into slaves too. The expectation that I gave you life, so now you just my little, I can't wait till you old enough to wash dishes so I'll never have to wash dishes again. Type of bullshit. Y'all all have grown accustomed to getting something from nothing. And when you get something from nothing, it means somebody else is being robbed. There is no getting something from nothing. Somebody is being robbed if you get something for nothing. Somebody is being exploited if you get something for nothing. That shit, that goddamn, that one little piece. This man, she was saying, the wife, she was saying, I'm not accustomed to seeing him weak, to seeing him in need. And so everybody around me, because they ain't married yet, but she's like, fuck it, we getting married. This my man. And so I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And she said everybody in the house, her and her girls, fell in line to support him the way he needed to be supported when he was weak, as she should. But my complaint was, where are these motherfuckers that's been around their house? On their couch, on their floor, just sucking the life out of their fucking healer. And the evidence is this, that when he's great and he's well, y'all come to feed. Y'all come to feed. When he's down and needs feeding, y'all ain't nowhere to be found. Oh shit, he ain't got nothing he can give me right now. His ass is fucked up. He can't do shit for me right now. His ass is fucked up. Now the single person say, you know what? Shaman Durek is the man. We need to fucking cover him. We need to be around him. We need to pour into him to make sure this motherfucker can live a long time. Everybody get on the list. Exploit your resources, you wealthy white people. Exploit the connections that you got. Where can we fucking buck the system? Where can we exploit our white privilege and get his ass up on the motherfucking list like we do for our own people? How can we get his name up on the list? How can we find him a kidney right away, exploiting our white privilege? How can we do that for this man that we know has done so much for us? He's so powerful. If you believe that, then exploit your motherfucking white privilege. Get the man up on the list like you do for yourselves. Get the man the kidney like you do for yourselves. I ain't talking about no fucking organ harvesting and no shit like that. But I'm saying, work your angles, get the nigga name up on the list to have the same attitude that the ancestral people had about those people who possessed fucking power, magic, the ability to heal and transform. We need this motherfucker to live a long time. So we need to relieve his burden. Isn't that the story that Mama Zogbe was talking about in the Sibyls? And see, IG is mad at me because I'm up in here cussing. And I'm going to miss my lunch. Shit. My little old people lunch. Isn't that what Mama Zogbe was telling us when she was talking about the Sibyls? That even though the Sibyls that even though the Sibyls weren't treated like goddesses or nothing, the one thing that them emperors, the one thing that them Caesars, the one thing that them people understood is that what these bitches got, we ain't got. What these bitches got, we ain't got. That was the first, was to acknowledge that we are not the same. I might be emperor, but I ain't got what this black bitch got. Okay? I might be Caesar, but this bitch can do some shit I can't do. And while she can do what I can't do, and while she got power I ain't got, we need to keep these bitches comfortable, and we need to keep them alive, and we need to relieve their stress so that when we need them, when we need to exploit their power, when we need to get into where they got access to and we ain't got access to it, we can get that. So what did they do? What did Mama Zogbe say about the Sibyls? That these bitches only work 7 days a month. Did that what she said? She said they only work 7 days a month. Isn't that what she said? Am I making it up? Did I imagine it? That 7 days a month, they would pull them out of the homes that they had built for them. These emperors hated the Sibyls. Don't get it twisted. It wasn't no romantic relationship. They hated the Sibyls. But they understood what they needed from them, and they moved accordingly until they could subdue them, until they could figure out a way to mimic the power that the Sibyls had and then erase them. But in the meantime, for 3,000 years, according to Mama Zogbe, for 3,000 years, the culture of the Sibyls was that these powerful men, emperors and Caesars and the like, did what? Took care of them in a way that was meant to strengthen and prolong their lives so that they could get from these women what they needed to defeat their enemies, to plot and plan and strategize. For 3,000 years, they did this. For 3,000 years, Black women all over the known world were being kept in excellent homes, in excellent conditions. These bitches wasn't cooking for themselves. I'm up in here having to go eat with the old people. Having to eat with the old people because I'm like, damn, why I gotta cook for myself? Shit, I got too much to do to be prepping food and cooking up in here. But I don't like to eat out too much because I know it's bad. Why I'm up in here cooking for myself anyway. I waste food when I cook for myself because I'm up in this bitch by myself. You feel me? They weren't cooking for themselves. Some stories that she told in that book, they weren't even bathing themselves. They had helpers to come and do the very basic things that they needed done so they could relax, because that 1 week a month that they would work, they would need 3 weeks of fucking recovery. What did she say about the 1 week, the 7 days of the month that they worked? That people came from near and far. Emperors from Asia with whole caravans would come on thousands of miles of journey on horseback and camelback with whole caravans and entourages with the hopes of getting up in line for the 7 days a month these bitches worked, so that they too could sit at the feet of the goddamn Sibyl and get from the goddess directly what they needed to go and stage their own campaigns wherever the fuck they came from. She was going to be exhausted in that 7 days that people came. thousands of people came from near and far. While she's sitting in a cave, squatting over a goddamn fissure in a goddamn fault line, draped on all sides by men and scribes and soldiers. There's story after story after story after story. I just rewatched the first Conan the Barbarian a couple weeks ago. They give you glimpses of the truth if you care to look. Past the bombs and explosions and all the action, if you care to look, they tell you. They tell you that the Sibyls were so sought after. The reason that every time you see an image of the Sibyl, she got two men up under her arm while she's squatting over the fissure, the steam coming up into her cuchatorial. You feel me? Her vajayjay, her uterus. You feel me? She got two men that she can prop up on while she's squatting. She got 2 men to 4 men on all sides with spears and shields ready to do battle. And then she got 2 scribes so that they can compare notes in case one missed something that the other one got. All these men up in the room. Why? Because in Conan the Barbarian the other day, I was like, oh shit, how I never seen this. They be trying to kidnap the bitches. Like, why Rome over here? Why Greece over here got these powerful bitches in caves doing these readings? We need powerful bitches in caves too. These bitches was getting kidnapped. Motherfuckers was vying for the power that was in these black women. Meanwhile, the people who possessed them, because it wasn't like it was a romantic relationship. She talked in the Sibyls about how a lot of these bitches have been kidnapped from Africa. How they done came into the continent hearing about powerful reading ass bitches who had a one line direct telephone cord to heaven, to the goddess. They was like, no, she don't need to be in Africa. She need to be the fuck up in here. And they would go and strategically seek out these powerful ass women, priestesses in the temples of the goddess and shit, and kidnap these bitches and take them to fucking what we call the Mediterranean, and hold them hostage. They were still slaves. But guess what? They was like, we need these bitches to be alive. They didn't treat them like chattel slaves over the fuck here. They gave them homes. They gave them servants. They didn't have to cook for themselves. They didn't have to clean for themselves. All they needed to do was relax, because for these 7 days, we gonna work your ass like a slave, bitch. You're gonna be open to the goddess 24 hours a day. For them 7 days, you're gonna need them 3 weeks to recover, because we gonna put your ass up in front of these thousands of people waiting in a single file line outside this motherfucking cave to look into your goddamn vagina and hear what the goddess gotta say. But these days, y'all don't even do that, because you done had 400 years of Sibyls working for your ass for fucking free, and now this is your expectation. Now you ain't even invested in prolonging the lives of the Sibyls that you are surrounded by, that you live next door to. You feel me? There's so much more I wanted to say. Because the girl I was telling y'all about the other day who said that bullshit when we was up in the bar with the 2 Mexicans who had let us sit in their booth with them because we ain't have nowhere to sit. That same night, I forgot about it. This same night, we talking or whatever. We had another club. The 3 of us are talking. And she talking about the homeboy that we sitting with. They work together. And she's like, sometimes you be real, your misogyny it be really coming out. And she's like, just because you say your misogynistic shit with a soft voice don't mean it ain't there. Sometimes it be really there. Like your machismo be really there. And I forget what I said, but I was talking about black women in particular. I said, these are the different ways that this shit shows up, right? And he was like, what did he say? Oh, what the fuck did he say? He said, see, it's this kind of division is the reason that we're never going to win. I said, the fuck? So I sent him a video that I sent to a lot of y'all today about the brother, Jesse Williams, and that speech that he made at the BET Awards when he was talking about the murder of Tamir Rice and the murder of Sandra Bland, and how black women have been neglected by black people and how we have to show up better and this and that and the other. So he is a black man making a presentation in the receiving of an award to a stadium full of black people, and it could resonate with anybody. You ain't got to be black to resonate with that. If your ass is indigenous, you can resonate with that speech he made, because you can see yourself in the conditions that have been imposed on black people. So I send this shit to my Mexican homie. And he was like, yeah, everything he said was great, but like these divisions though, like why we always got to be talking about these divisions? I said, where was he talking about divisions? Here's a black man talking to a room full of black fucking people. Where is there a discussion about division? Because we talk about ourselves, somehow we being divisive? I said, I don't do that shit. I said, I don't do it to you. I don't do it to Native people. When Native people are expressing the peculiar relationship that they have to white power, I shut the fuck up. It is their right to express their peculiar relationship with this monstrous bitch. It is not it's not an aside to me. It's not an affront to me when Mexican people and Native people talk about their peculiar lived experience and how they're going to get out of it. How am I supposed to be offended? Like I say, motherfucking right. Damn, I didn't know that that's how y'all be experiencing it. And I stand with what y'all say. And y'all set the terms for my allyship with you. Just like I expect that if you say you're an ally, I expect your allyship to be on the terms that I set because you don't live my experience. And this motherfucker talking about divisiveness. I said, it's so interesting that the only time people talk about divisiveness is when black people start to center themselves for a fucking change. I said, and here you are, a Mexican man that I've been doing political work with since 2018. And this is your position? After all these years of knowing me, this is your position. As that whenever I say black, somehow I'm being divisive. That it's all oppressed people that need to get together. He started talking some bullshit about how we all have to meet at the center of the medicine wheel. But he does exactly the same thing when women speak about women. Oh, well, why do we have to be so divisive? We all have to be at the center of the medicine wheel. And then I say something to the effect of like, damn, like I'm talking to these two people who I've known since 2018. I'm like, well, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a historian. I'm a teacher. And you know what this girl who has known me since 2018 has said? She turned to me. She said, I didn't know you were a historian. Y'all, she said that with a straight face. She was seriously perplexed when I said I was a historian. Seriously perplexed. Oh my God. When I said I was a historian. So my homegirl called me yesterday. I said, is this what it's gonna come to? This is what it's gonna come to. I said, I'm gonna have to clean my slate. Am I gonna have to make the declaration that from this day on, I don't have any fucking friends. None of you are my friends. I don't have friends. I don't want friends. I don't need friends. I need allies. I need accomplices. That's all. Because it's the other thing that happens with black women is as soon as somebody say, we your friend, you are instantly demoted. Tell me I'm lying. I know somebody else has had the experience. As soon as somebody makes the declaration, Cassandra is my friend, she my friend, you are instantly demoted. Now, all of a sudden, you do not have to respect me the same way that you would respect some professional in the field. All of a sudden, I am not who the fuck I am. Now I'm just your friend. You instantly become demoted. So in your relationship with this friend, I had this motherfucker 33 years old, y'all. We friends. And I fucked with this girl. 33 years old. She gonna send me a IG message. Now I'm guilty. I send a gang of messages without rarely ever opening up my IG messages. But what grown up wants to book a wellness appointment, sends a fucking IG message, then gets mad when the message is not returned because I don't see the shit because I rarely check the messages. And then I see the shit and it's some funky ass fucking, well, you know, since you're not going to return my message, I don't want you to put your hands on me anyway. I said, well, good riddance, bitch. What the fuck kind of insane shit is that? So I go back and check my text messages because in my phone, I still have every single text this girl has sent me since 2023. Y'all, she done been in my house scores of times getting treatments. I don't return an IG message, and your next message is fine if you ain't gonna return my message. I don't want your hands on me anyway. Now I'm ready to fight a bitch. Now I'm ready to go right back to hood, wild ass bitch, and yoke up a motherfucker. This bitch 33 fucking years old, and the text that she sent me asking for a wellness treatment said exactly this. Girl, I think it's time for me to come and get another session. Girl, would you call the doctor in his motherfucking office? Meanwhile, she ain't called my phone. Meanwhile, she ain't sent a text to my actual telephone number. Meanwhile, I have been to her house twice and she didn't say anything. But now I'm gonna get a motherfucking crazy ass fucking message on my IG talking about I don't want your hands on me anyway, bitch. I retract. I take back every ounce of chi I poured into your malignant self. Fuck you. Oh, I was so mad. I'm still mad when I think about it. But this 33-year-old lunatic gonna get on my motherfucking shit. Talking about she inquired about a wellness treatment, and then I go back into the messages seeing what I'd have missed. I'm like, I'm still giving this bitch the benefit of the doubt. So I go through all my texts. I was like, she ain't send me no text like she always had before. I said, are you crazy? If you go back, has there ever been a time where you texted me and I didn't respond? Never. I don't do that. I answer the phone even when I don't want to, because I don't do that. You feel me? And so I was like, okay, well, she ain't send me no text, so obviously she crazy. You feel me? Then I go back into my IGs and I'm seeing this one message from a month and a half prior talking about, girl, I sure could use a wellness session. First of all, bitch, who is your girl? You are my fucking daughter's age. Bitch, who are you talking to? Who the fuck do you think you are? I wanted to cuss her ass like I would my daughter if she said some bullshit and ass bullshit like that to me. Who the fuck do you think I am to you? Would you do that to the doctor in his practice? Would you say some fucking stupid shit like you said to me in a goddamn IG message when I don't return a fucking IG message talking about, girl, I need a wellness treatment? Bitch, fuck you. I mean that. Oh, I was so mad. And the problem is it's layered. I ain't gonna get that deep into the problem. Her problem is layered. But the bottom line is that as soon as it happens too often for it to not be true, as soon as a motherfucker get, quote, close enough to, quote, be your friend, then all of a sudden your chi is for free. Your life force is for free. Your services is for free. You are instantly demoted in your significance as a human being. You are instantly demoted in what the fuck you know. How this woman has known me since 2018 talking about as a political activist, having done at least 120 lectures and workshops in this city in the last 3 years. I didn't know you were a historian. I said, I'm about to have to scrap the list. Can't nobody be friends. Can't nobody be friends with me. Because y'all get too comfortable and you do exactly what your opposition do. You get mad when your opposition demotes the significance of who you are, demotes the significance of your genius, demotes the significance of the skills that you possess that can enrich their life, demotes the significance of your having a right to be here on this earth, even if you ain't got a skill. You are accustomed to white people demoting you by proximity. Demoting you by proximity. Exactly. Getting way too fucking comfortable. And to get comfortable means an instant demotion. You understand? And we love people. We are a loving people. We love people. We love to enjoy human relationships. But that shit has always worked against us. Always. Black people in general and Black women in particular. This is the definition of parasitism. This is what parasitism looks like. This is the way that parasitism manifests itself in these fucking low-level, insidious ways. How can I get close to this bitch and get from this bitch what I need without having to pay her what she's worth? And I'll be honest, some of y'all do it too. Because I guarantee you, I've gotten so many emails from people saying, I really appreciate your channel. I really appreciate, I done grown so much and listening to you talk about what you talk about. Oh my God, there ain't nobody on YouTube spitting what you spitting. And I'm poor right now, or I'm broke right now. But if I had money, I sure would get a service. Would you do that to some nigga? Would you do that to any one of these YouTube dudes who be up on here talking bullshit and they want to charge you $350 for a reading? Would you get up into their inbox talking about, I sure appreciate everything you be saying, and if I had money, and if I wasn't poor, and if I wasn't broke, I sure would be getting the reading? Do you email them with that same bullshit? And I guarantee, I'm 150% sure you do not. As a matter of fact, I am 150% more sure that you won't even have the audacity to email them until you have money to give them. I'm 1,000% certain of it. I'm 1,000% certain of it. I'm also 1,000% certain that I am not the only Black woman that experiences this. I'm 1,000% certain. So when I talk about our internalized patriarch, when I talk about our internalized white nationalists and us having to go war with that motherfucker every day, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. This email that I'm about to send this Black woman, would I send this shit to a motherfucker with a penis? Ask yourself that before you click send. This email that I'm about to send this Black woman, that I drafted up to send this Black woman, would I send this shit to a Negro with a penis who is saying half what she's saying? No. If no is the answer to that question, don't send me the shit, man. Don't send me the shit. I cannot count how many emails I've gotten that way. Don't send me that shit. And it's not a lack of compassion, because if it was, I wouldn't be talking to y'all. I wouldn't be giving y'all half what I give y'all that I give for free. 999 videos is the number of videos I've posted on this bitch in 5 years. 5 years. 1,000 videos. Giving y'all college level material in a language and in a way that you can consume and instantly evolve from it. Don't tell me I don't, because I know what the fuck I teach and I know how I teach. Breaking down shit to you that I gleaned on my own experience. I was never taught 5 elements the way that I teach it to you. Never, not even close. Not even remotely close to how I teach it to you. And I haven't seen it taught anywhere from anyone, not Asian people, not so-called esotericists. Nobody has taught the 5 elements to you the way that I have taught it to you, in a way that is clearly understandable, clearly perceptible, clearly applicable, not only in the health and wellness of your own body and the maintenance of your own body, but to help you see through the madness and bullshit that we call political life, using the 5 elements, using yin-yang theory to understand and explain the entire world around you. Nobody has taught you that shit. And I did it for free because I give a fuck about your life. Not only do I give a fuck about your life, I give a fuck about the mission that I am on, which is to rescue us from this monstrous bitch. Not me alone, the giant in each and every one of you. And that giant can't participate in the motherfucking mission if the giant is still caged. This is the mission that I have. This is my peculiar mission, is to give you the information that will help you unchain your own giant, that will break that motherfucker free so we can end this shit. But don't do that to me. Do not do that to me. And I won't let anybody from here on out do that to me. Motherfuckers will be sending me, literally, not figuratively, 10, 15, 20-minute voicemails. That because I am a peaceful person who cares about your life and knows that suffering is the emotion of the day, that everybody is suffering. So I will sit there with an attitude listening to a 10, 15, 20-minute voicemail. More than 10 I have received just since the summer. Listening to every single one. Reading whole ass dissertations, even though I continually say, please do not do that to me, because you know I'm going to read it. Just because that's the empathetic in me, knowing, not having anybody to go to when I needed someone to talk to. That's the empathetic in me. But please don't exploit my empathy. Don't do that. Don't make an introduction and say, how can I respect your time so I can talk to you more about this thing? Don't do that to me. Motherfucking whole 3-page essays and shit about your goddamn life and not a dollar attached to it. But the absolute expectation and assumption that I am going to read it. Now this becomes burden of somebody else that I don't even know that I done carried. I done read this shit. I done listened to this shit. Now this is a part of me. This story that you done told and I didn't get anything from it. But to carry it now. Don't do that shit. I don't know how the fuck we expect that anyone is going to treat us any better than we treat ourselves, than we treat each other, than we treat those who look like us. I don't know how we expect we're going to win a motherfucking thing. I definitely don't know how we keep saying that we have to lead, 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 that we have to lead from the center. We have to lead from the center. But this is how you treat someone who has given you literally thousands of hours of graduate PhD level information in a way that is so simple and still so deep that a third grader can understand. And I'm perpetually having to do fundraisers to keep myself alive so that I don't have to go rubbing on motherfucking Zionists' ass in their house at night to keep my fucking bills paid. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. And don't call yourself my goddamn friend if you don't understand my value as a friend. Don't do that. As a matter of fact, not only to not do it to me, I don't do that shit to my friends, by the way. I don't do that. I do not do that shit to my friends. I don't ever call my friends and say, matter of fact, the first thing I'm saying, I want to pay you for your time. Is there a way that we can set up a meeting where I can come for an hour or two and pick your brain about this thing that I've hit a brick wall on? I ain't trying to get it for free. So either we can barter or I can pay you for your time. What you want? I don't do that to my friends. I don't give a fuck how long we've been friends. If you have some expertise or a skill that I value and I know that I need because I am weak in this area, I am going to lead by saying, what is the value of your time? Can we negotiate? Is there a way that we can do barter? This is how much I trade for a session if I don't have the coins in my pocket. Typically, I try to have coins in my pocket before I go to a friend talking about, I need what's in your brain. Can you help me? I do not do that shit. A woman helped me revise my resume. I hate doing resume shit. I hate it more than anything. And so I was like, I'm at a loss. I haven't had to use my resume because I've been self-employed for so long, but now I need this motherfucker. Can you help me with this goddamn resume? And she was like, yeah, I'll do it. Just come over for dinner, whatever. I was like, you ain't help. This shit is a thorn in my side. And I know how many hours it would take me to do this shit if I was doing it by myself. So what do you want from me? She was like, what you mean what I want from you? I said, how do I pay you, girl, to come at to your house for some hours so you can help me with my resume? She's like, girl, you don't have to pay me nothing. I said, that ain't what we doing up in here. So do you need some treatments? She was like, well, if you want to do it that way, my husband and my son and my mother-in-law could use a treatment. Cool. Let's do that. Let's schedule their appointments so that we can always ensure an energetic exchange for the value that we bring into space, man. I keep telling y'all that even when I make jewelry, when I go out into the world wildcrafting, picking up acorns and pine cones that I put on y'all shit, honey, I leave something to the earth. I carry right now a giant bag of bird seed, a giant bag of cornmeal, and a giant bag of tobacco before I pick up anything off the ground. A penny, all them plastic bottles that I use to use my shaky thing, bitch, I'm making an offering to the earth. Reciprocity is the only way we're going to save ourselves. None at nobody else's expense. Fuck that shit. Nuh-uh. That ain't the world we trying to create. Every single thing I pick up, every twig, every stick, every feather, that little bird I told y'all that I processed, everything, I leave an offering to the mother. Thank you so much for this gift that you have given me today. I picked up a beetle the other day off the side of the road, one of them beetles that I've been putting in y'all talismans. And I said I had a finite number of beetles, so get them because they selling out. I think I have 5 beetles left, and I went on a walk the other day and found a perfectly preserved beetle. I was like, look at that. Thank you so much, Goddess. That's so nice. And I left something on the goddamn ground. I wasn't in my car. I was on my walk. So you know what I did? I had a candy bar that I was eating on. And I bit off a piece of the candy bar and gave it to the earth. The ants gonna eat good off that candy bar. The ants gonna eat good. Thank you for feeding my babies. I'm telling you. So don't do that shit. I don't do that shit to people. I don't do that shit to people. If you've given me something, I want to show that I appreciate the value of your time in my life, because it's going to impact my life. I don't ask you for no shit that I know I don't desperately need. I know it's going to impact my life. So thank you so much. How can I show up for you? Well, you know, my husband, his back been hurting. My son, he's an athlete, and so he got a lot of injuries. And my mom-in-law, she old and she wobbling around. And yeah, you know what? That's right. It would never have occurred to her to ask for that, because she too is a woman of color, a Mexican woman who is accustomed to being expected to do shit for people for free. It never would have even occurred to her to ask me for treatments for her family. She didn't ask for a treatment for herself. Further evidence that she is accustomed to expecting to not be adequately compensated for that which she does for others. So what she asked for her services in my life, her assistance in my life, was treatment for the others in her family. We have to break that spell. We have to break that spell. So I'm telling you, don't do that shit to me. Ask yourself, what would I can't think of any cute colloquialism for it, but would I send this email to a man? And if the answer is automatically no, don't send it to me, because I'm just as valuable. Would I send this long ass email, this long ass voicemail to a man? Would I send this shit to my preacher? This same email I just typed up for this sister who I just said has added value to my life. Would I send this motherfucking dissertation? Would I send this 10-minute fucking voicemail to my preacher without expecting to give him some money for him taking the time to hear what I have to say? If the answer is no, don't send it to me. And this is not me being a dick. This is not me being mean. This is me centering myself for a change. This is me centering myself for a change. And the only way that y'all respect that, I'm sitting here watching Shaman Durek. This man has become a millionaire, and he is still plagued by the same shit I'm talking to you about right now. And I ain't nowhere close to a millionaire yet. To be surrounded by these people who want from you what they want, and because they have everything in the world, writing a check for $3,500 doesn't seem, it's such a fair, it's a fair deal. It's worth so much more. But as soon as your healer gets sick, y'all crickets, y'all ain't nowhere to be found. As soon as your healer down and out, as soon as your healer desperate, as soon as your healer, because they done grown accustomed to giving, and that shit not be reciprocated. I don't need nobody telling me how they cannot afford my services, and I'm looking at everybody else's services, and I don't give a fuck. I know more than 95% of the motherfuckers y'all be giving money to. I don't give a fuck. I know more than them. Call me an asshole, call me arrogant. I'll take all of that. I'll take all of it. I'm sitting here watching people, man, I'm sitting here, and I'm not trying to compare myself to others. I know what I bring to the table. I earned that. I know what I bring to the table. I'm sitting here looking at people charging. This one brother charges for the initial, he do a consultation. The initial consultation, I think, is 10 minutes, right? The initial consultation, I think, is 10 minutes. That shit is $150. That's to say whether or not he is going to take you as an astrology client. The initial 10-minute consult is what I charge for an hour. 10 minutes to say whether or not he is going to take you on as an astrology client. Then, if he takes you on, it's $555 for the first hour. And I done seen him speak. I done met him personally. You ain't gonna tell me. You ain't gonna tell me. So that's what y'all need me to do. Y'all need me to boss up. Y'all need me to be more man-like. Y'all need me to be more masculine. Y'all need me to act like men before y'all respect my motherfucking stilo. Y'all need me. Because I'm gonna tell you, I have a sneaking suspicion that the reason Shaman Durek is in the fucking condition, the quagmire that his ass is in, is because he is female adjacent. You think I'm lying? You think it's a stretch? That if he was not, because y'all hate women, y'all hate females. And so because y'all hate females, y'all hate anybody that is female adjacent. That's why you hate trans people. That's why you hate non-binary people. That's why you hate gender fluid people. It's because your ass is a patriarch, and the patriarch, all he see is bitches. All he see is weaklings. That's why your ass is, the more female adjacent you are, the more disrespected by patriarchs you are. And that patriarch can have a vagina. Yep. That patriarch can have a vagina. That patriarch can be black and with a vagina. But the more female adjacent you are, the more patriarchs are going to fucking demote you, devalue you, reduce you. And I guarantee you, if Shaman Durek and his tall, giant, bald, dark-skinned self was more butch, was more masculine presenting, was, quote, alpha machismo, he wouldn't be in this situation that he is in. All them same white bitches that was sitting up in his living room, they would be gathered around him, rubbing his feet. Shaman Durek, what else do you need? What else do you need? Tell me I'm wrong. We know the evidence of it. Name every cult leader that you have seen that has been so-called alpha machismo motherfucker, and they ain't have to do nothing for themselves. They ain't have to cook for themselves. They ain't have to clean for themselves. Everybody just throwing pussy at them. All the time. They had everything that they could possibly desire, and then some. And then some. But because Shaman Durek is admittedly bisexual, because Shaman Durek is flamboyant in his presentation, because he is female adjacent in his presentation, that's why crickets. That's why crickets. So all you motherfuckers need to be checking your inner patriarch, bitch. I don't give a fuck. I see him wherever he emerges. I'm sitting here watching this shit about Shaman Durek, and I was like, it can't be because he a man. Why is he suffering like this? Why is these people not around him? Why ain't nobody cooking his motherfucking food? Why his white wife who ain't never had to cook because she nobility? Why she in there struggling and literally feeling bad that she can't cook a meal that he enjoys because that ain't what she know how to do? That ain't her expertise. Why is he in here cooking? I ain't never. And they call him a fucking cult leader out here. Shaman Durek is a cult leader. No, he ain't. Because if he was a cult leader, he'd be working his cult magic, bitch. He'd be having motherfuckers all over the place, swinging from the ceilings, trying to figure out what they can do to make his life better. I'm going to tell you, the secret is that he is too close to his feminine self. He is too close, and he is too audacious in the expression of his feminine self. It's like, that ain't no kind of cult leader we want. That ain't no kind of guru we want. Like, we'll come and get the healing and shit. But at the juncture that you need something, no. Crickets. Yes, he too close to mommy. Come on. He too close in his expression of his harmony, his harmonious relationship between his divine feminine and his sacred masculine. And they mind his divine feminine is taking up too much space, boy. You too flamboyant. You need to flex your muscles, bitch. Tell me I'm lying. What else can explain? Because white people, especially wealthy white people in Beverly Hills, are always looking for the new dark-skinned guru for them to fall on the face of. They all too eager because it gives them absolution. We've had this long conversation. It grants them a sense of absolution. When some Negro, some dark-skinned man, some Indian man, some Arab man, some Peruvian man, somebody comes into their space, centering them, offering them healing, it grants them absolution. They no longer have to feel guilty about being white and being wealthy. My guru, my shaman, my teacher, my mentor told me. They have been granted instant absolution with the presence of some Negro adjacent person in their space, offering them healing at pennies on the dollar. So they ain't never at a loss. They always open-armed it and open and receiving of some Negro who wants to center them, some Negro adjacent person, some brown-skinned man who wants to offer them absolution. All you have to do is pay for everything. And guess what they do? They pay for everything. What was his name? Osho? What's his name? They call him Osho. What was his name? What is his name? Osho, man. Rajneesh Param. Rajneesh Param. They paid for everything. This motherfucker had 13 Rolls Royces, an entire city 5 times the size of Manhattan built in his honor before he even got to the United States. 3 homes erected for him here in Beverly Hills, though he lived in Oregon. Diamond-studded watches, Rolls Royces, temples on every continent. Rajneesh Param. Rajneesh Param. So when I tell you, not only did they build him a whole city, that whole city had its own its own airport. That city, this is in the 70s, bitch. That city had its own airport. That city had its own currency. That city had its own clothing line. That city did not have to export for anything. Didn't have to go out for anything. Everything they produced, they had within that city. They didn't have to buy food outside that city. They took a barren land 5 times the size of goddamn Manhattan that had not had animals on it because it was so barren. And all of a sudden, in less than a year, through green restoration, all the animals came back. Bears and foxes, wolves and rabbits, birds and the like. Created an entirely vibrant ecology that had been devastated in a year, all in preparation for Osho, Rajneesh Param to arrive victorious in Oregon in 1978 or 79 or whenever the fuck it was. And you know what his right-hand woman said? Sheila. She said, if you ain't got no skills, don't come. This project ain't for you. You'll be able to come eventually, but this project ain't for you. We need engineers. We need city designers. We need carpenters. We need ditch diggers. If you are not a lawyer, if you are not a civil engineer, don't bring your ass. We don't need no hippies. That's what she said. We don't need no hippies. We need people with grand skills. We need motherfuckers with PhDs and shit to come and build this empire for our beloved Rajneesh Param. That's what she said. And guess what? Every last one of these white people complied. I got skills. I got skills. I got skills. I got skills. We need lawyers. We need a whole team of lawyers. So every step of the way, we can coast within the legalities of this project that we about to unfold. So white people ain't ever at no shortage of resources. So why is it that Rajneesh Param, that everybody calls a genius, I've seen a lot of lectures by Rajneesh Param, and he was a sharp and funny guy. I have, as a matter of fact, is it close? I have one book written by Rajneesh Param. It's a nice read. Genius is not what I would attach to the name of Rajneesh Param. That's just my personal position. And he was educated. He had a couple master's degrees. Genius is not what I would assign to his name. That's my personal opinion. You can be mad about it or take it for what it is. We have to first of all redefine genius. Anyway, you understand? They ain't never had a shortage of what they are willing to do to receive absolution from some colored person. You hear me? There is no shortage of resources they are willing to invest to receive absolution from a singular colored person. Do you hear me? What they are not willing to do is to change the world to receive absolution. Do you get what I'm saying? Philanthropy becomes one of the methods that they use to receive absolution from a single colored person or a single colored community to receive absolution, to attempt to absolve themselves, purge themselves of the collective guilt they experience for their participation in the way the world looks. And instead of doing what is necessary to do to make sure that the world don't look the way that it looks, which is participate actively in changing the world, they will seek out the approval of some singular colored person to grant them the sense of absolution that they have been seeking so desperately. Do you see? It's still the remnants of that Catholic shit where you had to pay for your tickets into heaven. You had to pay for entry into heaven. This is why Martin Luther bucked against the system. He's like, where they do that at? Why you got to pay to get into heaven? If you got to pay to get into heaven, it means everybody poor going to hell. Where they do that at? And y'all still hold on to that shit. But now instead of the Pope, instead of giving offerings into the coffers of the Pope, into the offerings of the goddamn Catholic Church, you're looking for a singular brown-skinned, yellow-skinned, red-skinned, Negro adjacent person that has to possess a penis, by the way, that has to possess a penis to grant you absolution. And you will pay top dollar for the granting. You will pay millions of dollars for the granting of absolution, just so you don't have to do what it actually is going to take to change the world. And poor Durek, because he got close. They done made him a millionaire, paying him $3,500 an hour. They done made him a millionaire, and in a short period of time. The lesson that Durek learned, whether he's learned it or not, whether he's come to the conclusion that I'm telling you that I came to in watching that damn documentary yesterday, whether he's come to the conclusion or not, he recognizes that something is different about him and his entourage. While they calling him a guru, while they calling him a cult leader, but his cult ain't culting. His cult ain't culting. His following ain't following. His following ain't showing up the way motherfuckers did for Osho Rajneesh Param. This nigga long dead, been dead for a long ass time. What, 20-something years? Rajneesh Param dead, and they got temples all over, fully functioning temples all over, still honoring Rajneesh Param. His cult ain't culting like that, Shaman Durek. White people may say they love him, but only when he's strong. And he is strong as a black man. He can't escape his bigness. He's like 6'3", bald head, good looking, dark skinned nigga. But he is too close to mommy. He is too much in his adjacency to the feminine principle. And this is his downfall, bitch. And he got a good taste of bitter medicine when his ass got sick and needed his following to follow. Needed his cult to do a little bit more culting. Needed his crew to show up the same way Rajneesh Param crew showed up. Or what's the other nigga name? What's his name? What's his name? I can't see from over here. But all these gurus, all these dark-skinned Indians that come over here and know they can make $1 million with white people. What's the yoga dude name that supposedly brought transcendental meditation over here? Him. What's the other nigga name who brought any one of these dark-skinned Negroes from India, or these dark-skinned Negroes from Asia, or these dark-skinned Negroes from Africa? All you got to do is be a little bit exotic. You feel me? And Shaman Durek is a little bit exotic. Even though he was born here in the States, his family is Haitian. He is a practitioner, a priest, a practitioner of voodoo. You feel me? So he exotic enough for all the white people to be like, oh my God, Shaman Durek. Shaman Durek. Now, I tell you what, if he'd have been bedding them bitches, he'd have had a following. They'd have came correct. If he would have been bedding them Beckys, his name would be up on the list. His name would be up on the list for that kidney if he had been bedding them Beckys. But he is actually a committed, faithful partner to his white wife. His princess, heir to the Norwegian throne, wealthy white wife. He actually is a loyal partner. Now, if he had been bedding them Beckys from day one, even before he got with the girl, if he had been bedding them Beckys, if he been really about that life, if he been really about the guru life, if he really been about the shaman life, if he really been about the cult life, he'd have been better than Becky's. That's how you secure your fortune. That's how you secure your fortune. And then in about 10 years, the Beckys would be mad because she wasn't the one chosen. And so they would come out with like a whole expose. I was so brainwashed by Shaman Durek that yes, I too slept with him, but it wasn't my fault. I was brainwashed. I didn't know. Me too. I know I done struck a chord somewhere. I'm probably gonna get shanked for that statement that I made. But all things ain't the same. All things ain't the same. All things ain't the same. Somebody can have their bug eyes if they want to. All things is not the same. That's why black women were saying this bullshit with these white women in the Me Too movement. Don't be acting like y'all don't have a history. It's not to say that white women cannot be aggressed against. It is to say all things are not the same. And y'all have a history of weaponizing your vaginas. You do. You will shake some titties, flash a vagina to some colored man because you know they weak. You know they weak. You know you the prize. And then when he don't comply in some way, he don't comply in the way that you think he should be complying, on come the waterworks. I was brainwashed. I was seduced into madness. And I just understand the suffering of all the other women in the world and what they go through. And we're all in this together. Meanwhile, the Me Too movement started by black women. Don't talk about black women no more. Ain't an allied organization to the MMIW, the missing and murdered indigenous women that get ghosted out of this city on the regular. Meanwhile, the Me Too movement is stolen by Alyssa Milano, hijacked by white women. Don't talk about the Harvey Weinstein impact on the careers of scores and scores of unknown, unnamed black women. Nope. It becomes about the chastity and the purity of white women abused by wealthy white men in the industry. Not about the culture, the rampant culture of rape and its acceptance into general society and the impact that it has on the most vulnerable people in this country. Nope. The 70s, they don't become the outspoken champions of the 77,000 missing black women and girls annually in this monstrous bitch. Nope. That ain't the thing they talking about no more. Nope. Not only that, the according to FBI statistics, the 1.2 million human beings that are being held against their will, primarily as sex slaves in the United States alone. Nope, that don't become a part of the Me Too cry as spearheaded through stealing of culture by white women. Nope. It becomes about the preservation of their purity. Like I said, it doesn't mean that white women are not regularly the victims of the aggressions of males, but their whiteness always becomes a toxic weapon in spaces that are meant to unify human beings. Always, 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 y'all are always the problem. Y'all are always the problem. While meanwhile always trying to shirk responsibility because we're in this together. We're sisters together. But you are always the problem. You are always the thing holding back progress. You and your conditioning with the patriarch resting in your skull has made you a permanently effective weapon against the interest of all women. White women have debts to pay. Y'all have stayed collective human progress. Y'all have done that. Black men have debts to pay. Y'all stay the progress of black people. Not y'all alone, but by and far a lot. Tell me I'm wrong. When there's 52 countries on the continent of Africa, and you can literally run down your hands of all the Negroes who have been placed in a position of power, and their next order of business is in the darkest country on the planet to find a fucking white wife. Even those that we loved. Even though, where the fuck you find a white woman at and your ass in Burkina Faso? Where the fuck you found a goddamn white woman to make your wife and your ass is the president of goddamn independent Ghana? Where the fuck you just happened? Did you just find that bitch walking down the street talking about you can't help who you love? Where you found her at? Everyone that we love on the continent, all our great hero champions that had white wives. Name them and I, except Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe. Robert ain't never had no white wife. God rest his soul. Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe ain't never had no white wife. He's like, fuck that. Give me dark-skinned women, black-skinned women, nappy-haired women. What's his name? What is his name? It's right on the tip of my tongue, man. Maurice Bishop from Guyana. He ain't never had no white wife. You understand what I'm saying? Who else? Because Chavez, God rest his soul, but he had a white wife. He had a white wife. You had me telling that bitch was an agent who gave his ass motherfucking radioactive isotopes. And that's why he developed cancer out of nowhere. You had me tell, if you want a conspiracy theory, that's my conspiracy theory. These niggas is gifted white wives to split their loyalties and shorten their life expectancy. She can get up close and personal, have a couple of mixed race children that now become the figureheads of leadership after she just slipped some isotopes in his motherfucking toothpaste. I ain't got no proof of that, but that's my conspiracy. You feel me? So this Mexican dude talking about my so-called homie, talking about how we have to be divisive and stop drawing out the divisions among the oppressed people, and we just all have to meet back at the center of the medicine wheel. That ain't no shit I'm on. If my expression of my lived experience is not valued in the space, I don't need no homogenous amalgamation of our issues. I am black. I will always be black. I love being black. I love the audacity that comes with being black. I love my nappy ass hair. I love my big ass nose, my big ass titties, my big ass booty. I can live on the terms that I set and still have a harmonious relationship with others and how they present in the world. Ain't nobody talking about no melting pot, bitch. Down for the days of the melting pot. Down for the days of the melting pot. That ain't no shit I'm on. That ain't no shit I'm on. We can be who we are and still show reverence and respect for the peculiar lived experiences of other human beings and still respect them as equals to us. I can talk about my black female experience and it not demote the significance of anybody around me who has their own peculiar lived experience trying to exist in this rotten bitch. Don't do that to people. That's that crack of shit. Trying to silence somebody. I'm hungry and I missed lunch. Trying to silence somebody when they talk about their peculiar lived experience. How the fuck I send you a video of a black man talking to hundreds of black people and the first response, and he's saying he's spitting bars. He's spitting bars. And he said nothing about nobody else except white people in positions of power. White police and heavy-handed police, and that's all he talking about. And how we black people need to start lifting black women up. We do too much. We need to lift. That's all the video said. But it was a dope ass message that anybody could relate to, because everybody got their own lived experiences that they can relate to. Asian people get killed by the police. White people get killed by the police. Mexican people get killed by the police. Indian people get killed by the police. Native people get killed by the police. They all could have seen sameness in this speech this brother made. That's why I sent it to the people that I sent it to. Asians and black people, natives and Mexicans. I sent it to a bunch of people. And this Mexican man gonna tell me, yeah, but that sounds really divisive, and that's not how we're gonna create. What you mean is divisive, bitch? There's a black man with a black experience talking to 300, 400 black people. How he being divisive? Did he say, fuck everybody else? Did he say that? That would be divisive. Did he say, I don't give a fuck what's happening to nobody else? You know, I don't give a fuck what's happening in Palestine. I don't give a fuck what's happening over here. I don't give a... Did he say that? That would be divisive. But him talking about his black experience in a room full of black people, and the first response, and you supposed to be some hardcore political activist that's, quote, my friend, and the first response that you send me first thing in the morning is he being divisive. Why y'all niggas, the code is, why y'all niggas always talking about black shit? That's the code. That's what he really wanted to say. That's what the white male patriarch in his head really wanted. Why y'all always talking about black shit? As he is talking about how Tamir Rice should have been 14 years old on that day, but because some gun-happy pig looking to exploit power over some child shot that child within seconds of rolling up on that child in a park. And he being divisive. Will he be being divisive if he, like myself, have been talking about what's happening to Mexican people being disappeared off the street, being disappeared off their homes, being disappeared off their jobs by this militant, rogue-ass police force, motherfucking weaponized mafia by the goddamn pig in chief? Would I be being divisive if I'm talking only about Mexicans? No, I'd be being a good ally is what I'd be doing. Would he call me divisive if I was only talking about the Mexicans and how they being snatched up by ICE? No, he would see that as me being a good ally. Then fuck you. When black people start expressing themselves, the only people that say that we are being divisive are people who don't give a fuck about black people. What they want to say is why you always talking about black shit. But it's not politically correct to say why you always talking about black shit. So the new weapon they use is, why are you being divisive? That shit was so disappointing. Two people I've known all these years. She gonna say, I didn't know you were a historian. 1,000 fucking videos later. Who you gonna say? Really? You're gonna talk about black women? Doesn't that seem a little bit divisive? We all have to meet at the middle of the medicine wheel. What I'm saying? But the homegirl had me in here yesterday like I gotta clean my motherfucking roster. I ain't got no friends. Not Manila actually called me talking about, I don't want you to put your hands on me anyway because you didn't return my IG message, girl. Y'all niggas too comfortable. Y'all way too comfortable. Not only are you too comfortable, y'all motherfuckers be playing with y'all lives and y'all don't even know it. Y'all be playing with y'all lives and y'all don't even know it. You're talking to a woman who has raised children, who has lived with who was married to a 7-time ex-felon, ex-con, who was trained in a cadre style military style socialist African internationalist organization. And so y'all get a version of me, and y'all see me as Yamaya. That's who y'all see me as. There's a lot of ways that is me in this presentation. I know y'all don't know it because I cuss like a sailor, but y'all actually have a very, very mild-mannered, tame version of me in this moment. These years that I've been up on here. It's a very mild-mannered, tame version of Cassandra that y'all have access to. Y'all don't know the Cassandra. Y'all don't know her. And so when I tell you that disrespectful motherfucker that sent me that goddamn text after I done put my hands on her fucking body all these years, that shit pissed me off enough. That shit instilled enough rage in me. You know how the Chinese say that in order to be an effective healer, you have to perfect the art of knowing how to kill? It takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to want to see harm done to another human. Well, a lot. Oh, probably too much. It takes too much. You make no mistake. No matter how intellectual I am, intelligent I am, no matter how funny I am, articulate or inarticulate, hood or not, y'all have not met the whole me. There haven't been too many opportunities for her to need to come out. But make no mistake, I don't have no moral hangups about the extremes in presentations of just and right action for the unjust. Just take it for what you think. Take it for what you think it means. I don't have no moral hangups at all. I mean this. From my mouth to the goddess's ear. No bourgeois moral hangups about an eye for an eye. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For any way you want to put that, I ain't got no more. You do what is it? You do the crime. You do the time. Sometimes the time is not actual times in lockup. I ain't got no moral hang up about the death penalty as an idea. My problem with the death penalty as expressed here is that it is a weapon in the hands of the monstrously malignant. That's the only hangups I got with the death penalty here. The death penalty in general, if you have demonstrated that you are a pariah set out on a mission of destruction of other human beings, particularly those who have no equal and opposing power to defend themselves, women, children, babies, I ain't even got to think twice about what the equal response is. I'm on some Malaysia shit. What Malaysia do? Chemical castration. They take a fucking brand, a hot iron brand, and brand you on your forehead. If you're a rapist, they brand you with an R. If you're a pedophile, they brand you with a P. And chemical castration. You want to commit crimes against women and children? Okay, you're going to have to live in life with the same kind of suffering they're going to have to live in life with. You're going to have to go around and everybody knows what your crime was. Everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows not only what your crime was, but now you are completely incapable of committing those crimes. Now, everybody that would hire you before, because see, this ain't no motherfucker we can hire. So yeah, I just need y'all to know who I am. So y'all don't be acting like y'all caught off guard when If the council of the 13 mothers, the council of the 13 crones say, oh no, go to this bitch. I ain't got no more hangups about it. I know this is coming from the mouth of justice. Y'all up in here whining and crying and singing hymns of LeMay and this what is it? Dismay and what's the other one? Dismay and bewilderment at the Supreme Court. What do you expect from the Supreme Court? It ain't nothing but a bunch of white, old, haggard ass, over the hill men who was white nationalists in their youth, who have now seized possession of the law of the land, and they have to sprinkle a single white woman and a single Negro woman on the council just to make sure that y'all, to give the illusion of some diversity, while they strip you of every right your ass fought tooth and nail for, and you act confused, dismayed, and bewildered. I ain't confused, dismayed, and bewildered. I ain't confused, dismayed, and bewildered. Supreme Court of the United States is as white nationalist as it was today as it was at its inception. It has always been clear that it serves white power. Yep. The bourgeoisie. The 1%. The 0.001%. I'm always clear. And so if y'all ain't talking about dismantling this rotten motherfucker, y'all just want to keep waging campaigns within the context laid before you by your opposition, by your enemy, we'll still be coming to the same conclusions over and over and over again. Poor Shaman Durek. I want to shout him out today. I want to big him up today. May health find him. May he find what he needs health-wise to restore his fully vibrant self. And may there forever be a giant, invisible, protective fort around him from the vampiric energy of these malignant motherfuckers. May they continue to make him rich, but may he be forever protected by this rich, ironclad, clearly see-through fortress protecting him from the pariah he is currently surrounded by. So mote it be, in the name of the mother, mommy, and I are one. I really empathized with Shaman Durek yesterday. I really, really did. That's a great idea, Royal. I might have to hit this motherfucker up. I might have to give Shaman Durek a phone call. I might have to do that. Girl, that's a good ad idea. I might have to break you off a finder's fee, bitch. Roy, I might have to break you off a finder's fee. Let me go and see if I can get up in here with Shaman Durek. You understand? And let this black ass healer do this one last good deed by putting my hands on somebody and transforming their motherfucking life so I too can come the fuck up. But he will be the only one. May his princess wife go into her coffers and set my ass up, because I will not be surrounded by them malignant vampiric motherfuckers that just literally leech the life out of his ass. It won't be me. It won't be me putting my hands on those Zionists, even for $3,500 an hour. I'm trying to tell y'all something. That ain't no shit I'm willing to do. Now, so we have to make it something else. Let me see if I can get up in there. And the other dude that was in the documentary that I didn't mention, but I talked about him before because he too has been, quote, coined a cult leader, is Michael Beckwith. I like Michael Beckwith. I fuck with Michael Beckwith. I've been to his temple a couple of times. I like Michael Beckwith. He seemed like a right on dude, like a right on upstanding citizen. But you need a personal healer, Michael Beckwith, because you too are surrounded. Even if it's not their intention, child, sometimes they are not even conscious that they are vampiric. That's the genius of the orchestration of parasitic capitalism. Is that it makes weapons of its own citizenry. And parasitic capitalism, they don't have to be conscious. They don't have to be aware. They aren't deliberately siphoning the energy out of him. I don't believe they're doing it deliberately. I don't think they are aware, most of them, that they're doing it deliberately. And that is the genius of this orchestration called parasitic capitalism. It's parasitic by birth. It's parasitic by orchestration. It's parasitic in its daily life, like a well-oiled machine that doesn't even have to think about it. And it makes weaponry out of its citizenry. Its citizenry, the people they represent, parasitic capitalists, is white people. Those who are most closely adjacent to white people, they can get broke off. But parasitic capitalism represents the interest, at least in this country, of white people, at least in Europe, of white people. Parasitic capitalism benefits the nobility in Arab countries. So it's Arab men, in Asian countries, Asian men, in African countries, African men, and the like. But the apex of parasitic capitalism in this day is white and masculine. And it benefits the interest of white-skinned people. And so they don't have to be conscious of it anymore. They don't have to be conscious racists. They don't have to be conscious capitalists. They don't have to be conscious vampires. They can just be like, oh my God, Shaman Durek is so powerful. He's so powerful. He's such a wonderful healer. It's too bad his kidneys are fucked up. I wonder where I'm going to find my next guru. Just like that. Just that simple. I hear you talking, Roy. You got the wheels turning up in here, girl. I might have to send him a letter. Handwritten, certified mail. Like, look, man, I done put my hands on literally thousands of people. You can be transformed. You can be transformed. You feel me? So what we gonna do? And how are we going to erect this invisible fortress around you so that you can move in the world freely without being siphoned off of? It won't be me. It won't be me. That is my word from my mouth to the goddess's ear. Now to miss lunch. I'm hungry too. God damn it. But I had a word for y'all today. I'm going to come back a little later now. I got to go figure out what I'm going to eat. I'm got to go figure out what I'm going to eat. So... this was fun though. I know I got hype. But women, we gotta start weaving. We can't be up in here by ourselves. I can't be up in here by myself. I can live by myself, but what I'm saying is I can't spend no 5 days in my house by myself. You feel me? Or the only reason that people call is to tell me about how terrible their fucking life is and shit. That can't happen. So we got to be weaving a tapestry of light. And I'm not talking about white light. I'm talking about dark light. Okay? I'm talking about dark matter energy, purple, brilliant light. We got to be weaving a new tapestry in the world. And that tapestry cannot be woven in our despair and our uncertainty. It cannot. So that at least gives us some idea about how we have to move differently. And then that being said, I'm going to say goodbye until later because I'm still going to read from this book tonight that I'm loving so much. And for those of you who came in late, when I read The Conspiracy, because I was late and y'all didn't see my newest noise maker for my sound therapy session next Saturday, my first live sound therapy section. So I took 2 CDs and some hot glue, and in the inside, my white bottle caps that I've been telling y'all I've been saving like a crazy person, right? So I put 2 of them together, and inside each of the 2 bottle caps are seed beads. And so I took 2 old CDs that were unredeemable, right? That were scratched up to the point of beyond repair, and hot glued the CDs together with the seed bead bottle cap. And then this is a tree pod. They fall everywhere. You can just find thousands of these tree pods everywhere. They got seeds in them themselves, but this one was fresh enough that you can't hear the beads in it. But sometimes you find these things so big that you can just shake the pod by itself and you can hear all the seeds in it. So I took this young one because it had gotten hard. When I got it, it was green. Then I set it outside, it turned brown and it stiffened. And I used it as the stick. So I put hot glue on in a little pattern, because then I'm going to take gold spray paint and spray paint it later. So I'll show it when I'm actually done. I was thinking about taking like thread or yarn to wrap around the pod. I might leave the pod naked and just put like a clear coat on it so it's more shiny. I haven't decided. But this was the noisemaker, the next noisemaker that I made for my sound therapy session. And I used this earlier to do our conspiracy. It was so fun to make. It was like being a little kid. I'm going to do a gang of these. I might start selling these joints because this was fun. It was a cool idea. And I'm going to use bigger. So I'm going to do them all different sizes because I got bigger bottle tops like this one that have more space. And so I'm going to use some beans. I have a big old giant tub of what they call 13 grain soup. You know, where it's just a bunch of beans, different type of beans together. They sell it like that, 13 grain soup. And typically I use a 13 grain soup for ceremony, right? I don't buy it to eat. I don't buy it to eat. I use it as a ceremony. You use the 13 grain soup as a purification ceremony. As a matter of fact, coming up, Awan, which is a cleansing ceremony done in honor of Baba Luaye. And you use 13 to 21 grains to do this purification ritual. So I usually use this big old giant tub of 13 grain soup I have for ceremony, for purification rituals. And I was just looking at the tub last night and I was like, oh, I bet that would make up some pretty noises. So I'm gonna pull the grains down and make the next one with bigger tops so there's more surface area and see what kind of sound I can get out of the 13 grain soup. So it'll still be spiritual noisemaker because that's what I use for my ceremony. But using the 13 grain soup and the bigger bottle tops to see what kind of noise I can get out of that. This was really fucking fun to make. Like I make a lot of shit. Sometimes it seems more laborious and serious because it's ceremonial and stuff. But baby, when I sat there to make this was fun like I was a little kid. I felt like a little kid. This was like, I was like, I should teach this as a project to like little kids. This was fun as fuck. This was fun. Playing with the beads, getting ready to put the beads in. This was fun. I was like, shoot, this could be a whole ass workshop just for kids, like 15 and younger, 14 and younger. It is a rattle. That's what it is. It's a rattle. And I only got like 1,000 CDs. I still listen to CDs, so it's not like I would just be giving away my CDs. But in transferring all my CDs from storage to here, a lot of them got damaged. My feelings was hurt. And I was like, well, because some of them I can still repair. I'm trying to find those old school CD repair kits where you can like buff down the scratches in your CDs. Some of them I'm trying to save, but a lot of them are beyond restoration. I was like, what am I going to do with these CDs? Oh my gosh, my CDs. And then I saw this girl from Austria or some shit on IG, and she teaches little kids at her church in Austria. And she's always coming up with like little noise making projects. And she took bottle caps just like these. And instead of using, this was me, what do you call it? What's the word? This was me improvising. What she did was she took big pieces of cardboard that she had cut out and had the kids decorate and paint and stuff. And then they use big tops, like they use like, dish detergent plastic bottle tops. They use big tops and put like coins in there and all kinds of stuff. So this was my little mini improvised version of the rattle that she did for these kids in her church. Isn't it cool? I love it. It's probably like all my noisemakers, this was the most fun to make. The other one seemed like more methodical and like I really had to concentrate, like drilling the holes in the brass teacups and all of that shit. And, having to measure out, and the measurement still didn't come out exact. So when you saw the one with the teacups, it was all jaggly like that. But this was just fun. As a matter of fact, I might make another one today. Oh yeah, I'm going to. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to, because when I've done Royal asked record myself making the music for the shaman's healing thing. When I've done the lectures that I've done for the same healing event, typically I live stream it, right? So at least the last 3 that I've done, I live streamed it for you guys to be able to watch. So what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to have a homegirl there that is going to do the live stream for me. And I'm going to see if another girlfriend I can wrangle will take pictures, because the thing that's always been missing is I don't get pictures from a lot of these workshops that I've done. So yes, y'all will have pictures, but y'all will definitely get the live stream of me doing the Sacred Sound Conspiracy, which is what I've called it, the Sacred Sound Conspiracy. I play with this thing. I made it 3 days ago. I've been playing with it ever since. It's like, oh, I love it. It was so easy and so fun to make. This was fun. I feel like a little kid. Thank you so much for the reminder, Royal. You the one. She said, no friends, only allies. Girl, see? Thank you. Appreciate you for the reminder. Appreciate you for the reminder. Anyway, all right. So I'll see you guys a little later. I'm going to hunt down food and yeah, take care of some business. Oh. So I sent a bunch of y'all emails, but some of you may not have gotten the emails. Go to the Etsy store, Etsy.com, and then look in the search engine for Daughter of the Fates, Fates, because I dumped, I think, 4 new books on my Etsy store. 4. So go and download those books. And I'm telling you, I have a gang of books I'm about to upload to my Etsy store. When I say a gang, I mean I have about 20 saved that I'm going to upload to my store. So go check out the store, because pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar, get the books. Okay? Some of them I have to edit down. So instead of it being 1 file, it's like 3 files or 5 files, because the files are so big and you can only upload so many megabytes of files for each file. So some of them I'm having to dissect. That's taken a little bit. I'm not going to forget you, Royal. That's going to take a little bit of editing time to get those divided, but I'm still dumping the ones that I don't have to edit. So check the Etsy store, because it's dope shit that I'm uploading to the Etsy store. Ooh, and let me show you one last thing. Etsy store. I'm calling these our little logo earrings, because I only right now have 7 of these exact types. 7 of these exact types, but there are variances. So there's 7 of these silvers with the ravens. And then I have some other ones, the moon, the crescent moon with an owl. I only have 1 pair of those. And then some bronze moons with other little creatures on them. But if y'all can see those. So this is the little raven with the crescent moon. Ooh, they're so cute. Little raven with the crescent moon. So I only have 7 left of these. And then 1 with these crescents, but with an owl instead. And then some other ones. And then in terms of the beetles, the scarabs, and the snakeskin talismans, those are going crazy fast. I think I might have 5 scarabs left and enough snakeskin to do maybe 9 more talismans. 8, maybe 9 talismans. I might be overshooting that. You're talking about these earrings, Royal? You talking about these? Specify in the email. Okay. I think that's everything. So go on the Etsy store. Yeah, Go on the Etsy store, book a reading. The full moon, is it the new moon? Am I tripping? No, it's the full moon. The full moon, the new moon. It's the new moon. It's the new moon in Pisces this Monday. So get your readings. Stop playing games with your life. I'm still going to do the readings, the live readings tomorrow. Thank you, Chosen by Nature. I'm still going to do the readings tomorrow. So for a reminder, for those that don't know, when we do the live readings, it's $11 per question. You can ask up to 3 questions. $11 per question. You can ask up to 3 questions during the feed. And the 2 main decks that I will be pulling from is this Kali deck, which is my jam, and my ultimate jam, as always, the official deck of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, is the Medicine Woman Inner Guide deck. So this is the main deck I'll be pulling from, unless you specify and say that you want your pull to come from the Kali deck, which is equally and easily becoming my newest favoriteest jam. Okay, so tomorrow I will begin the temple service at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we'll do a little talking in the beginning. Excuse me. We'll do a little talking in the beginning. And then the rest of the time, we will be doing live readings. $11 per question. Up to 3 questions can be asked per person. Okay. That being said, I'll see you guys later this evening. I'm thinking maybe, what's today? Friday? Either 6 or 7 Pacific Standard Time. I'll do a post. It's going to be around 6 or 7 Pacific Standard Time that I do the reading from the book, The Power, tonight. Okay? Have a great day. Be productive and prosperous. And may everything go your way times 100. Peace.